Y'all know what it is. It's the Find the Boxer game. Purchase a box for a chance at winning $500. One of 54 boxes has the missing boxer inside. Purchase your box or boxes by Cash Apping, $, usual 50/50. Include your box number, name, and email address. Your box number will be confirmed and sent directly to your email. Each box is $20, with a 1 in 54 chance of winning. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Y'all know what it is. It's the usual suspect 650-50 draw. Buy your tickets now for your chance at winning half the pot. Cash App, $, usual 50/50. Tickets are on sale for $10 for one, $20 for 3 tickets, and $50 for 10 tickets. Put your desired amount, name or alias, as well as your email address, and your tickets will be set. We announce the winning ticket numbers every other Friday on Supreme Beats Boxing Talk Bullshitting on the Beltway, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Weight enough flex, the live is 1 in the 6. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Absolutely. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. We are now in the Strong House. Come on in, smash that like button. Like the video, share the video. We are our own algorithm. Let's not leave it up to Miguel to do anything for us. He can't stand us. I get 10 subs. I lose 7. Then gain back 12. Come on, Miguel. You've been caught. I don't want to start off the show like that. Let's do this roll call real quick. Abdullah, salute. Dial Big G, Nitty G, Mr. Shelton, Cop Aborigines, Mark Hairston, Sam Mack, Rod Neal, The Audacity Podcast in the building, Dankfather, Jonathan Simon, Universal Truth, Mark Wunderlich, Utah in the building, Shogun, The Brothers UK in the building, salute, Chilltown Majors, Bionic Prince, Mr. Tiptoe, Anthony Bolton, Jamel Fareed, Ravens Nation, 704 Joe, 88 Sports Talk. Xavier, what's good? Shower, salute my queen. Peter the Great. Yeah. Miguel has it out for all black channels. No diggity doubt. Let me take care of my brother real quick. What's going on here? Miguel. Wow. Storm, you know I can't see him on my regular.
Can't see who?
Bionic Prince. Wait, I just found him. That's wild. I can't see him in the YouTube studio because I have everything up. This is why I do what I do.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do that. Miguel hard at work. You know how Miguel's hard at work? Let's get right down to it. You know why Miguel's hard at work? Did y'all see the presser today? Let me say this, man. Earl, what up? I will be shocked if Bud goes in there and lays an absolute egg like Jermell Charlo did. I don't see that in Bud at all. There's too much of his money on the table. There's too much of his reputation on the table. And Bud doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that will sacrifice his integrity Integrity. Integrity. I don't think he's cut from that cloth. Anything is possible. I could be 100% wrong. I'm telling you, I don't see it. And what I saw today, and I need y'all to hear me. I need y'all to understand this. The same look that Bud gave Canelo, that little shoving match, could have been staged. Y'all determine that. Do y'all remember how Gennady Golovkin looked at Canelo? He had like that weird smirk on his face. He was literally telling him, yo, look. And no, guys, he's a nice guy, but I'm going to try and punch his head off. And he tried. Didn't work out. But Golovkin wasn't in there playing with him. He just didn't have the tools to be as dominant. He don't have the tools that Bud got. Now, I know there's going to be people that, let's just get this out the way. Number one, I am supporting Bud because he's black. Okay? So now, moving on. We can move on now because they're going to come in here with Viva Mexico flags, and that's okay, right? And I'm telling you, that's okay. Rock with your guy. I'm going to rock with mine. So now that we've gotten that out the way, now that we've gotten all that out the way, Bud's going to whip Canelo ass. Okay? There, I said it. And y'all welcome to come back after the fight. Regardless of what happens, I don't care. I'm telling you, Bud's going to whip his ass. You can disagree. We can talk about it. But I need y'all to understand something. Canelo never fought anyone like this. Y'all really think this weight shit is going to be the deciding factor? I'm telling you it's not. I'm telling you it's not. You know, Bud lied to y'all when he was asked. Piers Morgan asked him, how much are you weighing right now? Oh, he said, about 156. That nigga is not 156 right now. He's all of 170. He's fucking with y'all. Y'all gonna see when he gets on that scale and he has a six-pack. Y'all gonna see when he gets in the pocket with Canelo and he tries to do one of those moves on him and Bud don't move. Y'all gonna see. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I said, man, Errol too big for him. As soon as he got in the clinch, he was throwing Errol around. I said, oh shit, look at that. Look at that. And I know there was some shit going on with Errol. Let's not get into that. Look, Bud is everything. Look, listen to me. Listen to me, y'all. The legend is true. The legend is true. Everybody that I known that sparred with Bud, they said, no, this dude right here, something ain't right. All that deadlifting he was doing, 400, 500 pounds, he was doing it without the dirty eggs. And shout out to Conor Ben. But I'm like, why is he deadlifting 600 pounds? That has nothing to do with boxing. And then he popped dirty. I said, oh, that's why he was doing it. That's how he got to do it. I'm just telling y'all what happened. Don't get mad at me. That's what happened. Bud been doing that. Bud been doing that. But what I saw at the press conference today, if Canelo was sleeping on it, he's up now. He's up now. Right now with Reynoso, they hitting pads, sitting down looking at film while he's hitting pads like, I can't let this guy get me. Canelo, I firmly believe, he's like, yeah, I may have fucked up with this. You know why? Canelo, if you got your ass beat by David Benavidez, that's more acceptable. How you gonna lose a Bud? You're gonna lose a Bud, bro. And I stand on that. But it's boxing. I've been wrong before, and that's okay. But you can't move me on that square until it happens. Rod Neal in that super chat salute. He said, I'm glad Bud is not showing him any respect. Exactly. And that's what bothered me with Jamel. I should have known then. I should have known then. Jamel should have been out there. Houston, line of that. He didn't do none of that. I said, okay, I'm still gonna rock with you. You threw 5 punches the whole fight. Ridiculous. 88 Sports talking that super chat. He said, you see Hitchens try to sneak past Bill Haney, got caught, scary ass. Now he wants Dev to move down. Yeah, I know about that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. Storm, you saw that? Bill everywhere.
Yeah.
Y'all even know he was in New York, did y'all? He caught apartheid hitches coming out of building. Now you want to
We
talk?
tell him that Bill is like Candyman. He'll show up.
Yep.
You just never
He's
know.
There. He's there. But Stormy, you go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Listen, there's an old saying about biting off more than you can chew. Canelo has done it this time. He's found the right one. And I'm going to tell you something. All that talk he was doing earlier about when it was first presented to him about fighting Bud, it was like, oh, I won't get credit for beating him and this and that. He was entertaining it because he doesn't want to fight Benavidez. But see, you could be so busy trying to avoid your responsibility and slip up and become someone else's come up.
That's right.
This is the climate of the sport of boxing today. We talk about it. Lately, I've been implementing in some of my content, talking about the fact that a lot of the men who have acquired titles have acquired them by not defeating the previous title holder.
Right.
There's a number of men who have belts because someone vacated. And the reasons for vacating are moving up in weight, avoiding, being stripped, not wanting to pay fees, can't afford the fees, and collectively, there's an assortment of these. And then also sprinkled in with that, you have promoters who are angling and pressing fighters to make certain kind of moves because it's advantageous to the promoters to get other guys in the mix and get title opportunities. We've just seen one of the great moves, and ain't nobody paying attention, with Jaron Ennis moving up to 154 now, or at least that's what they're saying he's doing.
Yeah.
But the man that's going to benefit from this is Conor Benn.
That's right.
People don't see the play, but if you've been watching it like we watch it, you can see the play.
Right.
They're talking about, and I say they because I'm still on the UK tip on this when I say this. Dave Allen should fight Deontay Wilder. They're saying this. Remember, I said it before they started saying it because I felt like it would be a good fight for Deontay to come back and fight, but he selected this guy that he's about to fight this week coming up, Herndon. But that would have been great for Deontay because of how he could make good money fighting in that environment over there or whatever. I don't think that Allen can beat Deontay or anything like that, but it would be it's a good economic move. But they're talking about it because he's had some success lately against this young kid Fisher who wasn't anything. He was nothing but a big old country boy in the UK. That's all he was. And so now they want to say, oh yeah, well, it would be a great fight for him to fight Deontay because they're looking at Deontay like Deontay is finished.
Right.
But did AJ look finished on his last fight?
He looked finished to me.
Why didn't they talk about Dave Allen fighting AJ? You see how the narratives play out?
That's
because
right.
They're still hoping that after Usyk and Dubois, that maybe a stripping of a title or something will happen, because the sanctioning bodies like to do that, right? They like to stick their foot in there and their nose in there and strip and get him back in the title mix or whatever. But I digress because I'm not trying to get off of what we're talking about with Bud and Canelo. I say these things because Bud has earned his keep along the way, always battling against the odds of no one giving him the respect or the notification and acknowledgement of what he's due. And he continues to disappoint people
all the time, or shock them.
Or shock him. And in this instance with Canelo, you have to understand the drive behind the man. A victory over Canelo means he silences each and every person against him, whatever, any acknowledgments or disavowalment of what he's accomplished and accrued up to this point. He shuts it all and puts it to rest. And he's willing to bet on himself to do this. When Charlo stepped up there, what y'all didn't realize was he was looking for a bag.
So disappointing. So disappointing. All that talent.
The truth behind that is he hasn't even fought since. How long ago was it? Can someone look up the date of Canelo and Charlo?
And while you're at it, can anyone tell me, would y'all trust Jermell Charlo with a ham sandwich at this point? Y'all trust that guy? Was that the same? Leading up to the Canelo fight, he was a perfect gentleman, was he not? I'm like, yo, where's all that guy? Where's that guy? And next thing you know, he was like, yeah, you know, they want me to act like that. I said, all right, well, if they want you to act like an animal, don't give it to them. But I expect you, when that bell rings, first of all, when that bell rang, they took that belt from you, bro. You was no longer undisputed. Now, what you're doing or tried to do had nothing to do.
Look at that. September 30th, 2023. Thank you for that, Rod Neal. And you see, they're getting ready to fight in September of this year. The fight for Charlo was supposed to be Bud.
Yep.
Undisputed against undisputed.
Yep.
He blew it. Not only did he blow his own undisputed title, he blew his stake and position in the sport of boxing. He blew a fan base. He blew his legacy for a bag. Bud has done nothing but ascend. And contrary to what many people are trying to say leading up to the fight against Canelo, Bud beat Madrimov when other fighters didn't want to fight Madrimov.
True story.
And he beat him easily because Madrimov didn't want to engage with him. He said this, meaning Madrimov. When he did his post-fight interview and they were asking him, he was like, speaking in the terms of he didn't want to get caught with something because he knew that Bud was crafty and slick and everything. Nobody talked about that. That Madrimov admitted to not taking risks because he was the champion and Bud was coming to take the title.
Well, let me ask you this, Stormy. Why is it that Bud's not extended the same courtesy that Canelo was extended when he fought William Skull?
Because, first of all, he's very good and he's levels above almost any of the contemporaries that he could possibly be facing. He has experience. He's the wrong color.
Yeah. Very wrong.
And even in being the wrong color, he happens to be a very dark black man.
Yep.
That is the fear of the establishment overall. That carbon genetic existence. If Elon Musk could find a way to change carbon to something else, he would do it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why. You see, He's so good that you have to understand that when the lights are on, we know things happen in the gym and all of that. But he's that guy. You know, Ali once said about Joe Frazier, if God ever called me to a holy war, I would want Joe Frazier fighting by my side. That's one of the highest compliments that you can give a person when you're thinking about their merit as far as being a fighter. And you know, Ali was a very devout religious man. So that's not to be played with. When you're going to battle, you need a Bud Crawford. You don't need that guy that's looking for the bag. You don't need that guy that's going to roll over and show his belly. You need someone who has the temperament to be driven to the degree that I might lose an arm. My leg might get taken out. But damn it, if my choppers still work, I'm going to bite you to death. You understand? That's what you need. And guess what? That's what Canelo is getting ready to face. He hasn't faced anything like that in his career.
We're gonna go down his resume. We're gonna make the comparison. The brothers UK in that super chat, much love. He says, peace, brother Drew. Going to get some beauty sleep. Catch you on the replay. Peace. Salute to you, good brother. Brothers UK is like my second or third sub, y'all. Salute to that brother, man. For real.
Salute.
Thank you. Salute. What I want to do is I don't have to share the screen because we've all been here in real time. RDR, what up, RDR? UK in the building, strong, salute. Let's go down the list. Let's go backwards. What's the difference between Bud and William Skull? I'll give my assessment. Lord Swift, real, salute. I'll give my assessment. William Skull is a phenomenal boxer. We know now he has great feet. He didn't engage. There are some people that said that due to the point system, he may have won. But you're not beating Canelo like that because once you sign to fight Canelo, you're already down 4 rounds. And one of them, it might be a 10-8 for all you know. Okay? So let's cut the crap. The difference, in my opinion, is Bud doesn't fight like that. He can. But Bud will try and close the distance and nail you. He can also bait you into something. And this is the problem that I see happening with Canelo. Canelo gonna F around and be down on some rounds. And Eddie's gonna say, hey man, don't know say. I don't know. I don't know how they seeing it. And what might happen is that he might start walking forward like how he did to Golovkin in the second fight. That's gonna be his demise. Because like around the middle of the fight, he's gonna recognize, yo man, this ain't what I thought it was gonna be. He's gonna get in and run around. And I need y'all to get it out your head that Canelo is this killer. Get that out your mind. Stop acting like we didn't see this guy lose. Stop doing that. We know what gives him problem. He got busted wheels, man. Bud could box him off the outside. And when Canelo tries to close the distance, if he feels like he's losing, do you really think Bud can't hurt this dude? But more on that. William Skull in the Bud comparison, Stormy, what you got? Maybe I'm not seeing something.
I'll summarize it very simply for you without using a lot of words. Conviction. Conviction is an intangible in the sport of boxing. that doesn't come into play very often because very few exhibit it. Did you hear what I said?
Yes. Yes.
Very few exhibit it. Now you could go back an era and you saw many, but in this present era, conviction is lacking. I just mentioned a moment ago, Jaron Ennis moving up to 154 when he had unsettled business at 147.
Yeah.
Plus an assortment of talent that's coming to the division that one has name, two has something to gain, and he left that behind. Immediately removing himself from consideration. If he thinks that the people up at that next weight division are going to allow him to come up there and take what they've been, because there's been a bit of a block or a blockade at 154 because of what has transpired with Zoo losing to, what was his name? Murtazaliev? Is that who he lost to?
Yeah,
I forget the guy's name.
Muslim Russian.
Yeah. And the Fondora thing.
Yeah.
And, so there's been kind of a gridlock there. But there are so many that are waiting for their opportunity. He's going to get blocked out in the post like a power forward and a center going at it in the NBA. So he could have made his living where he was at. And this whole thing about he's outgrown the division. Bull crap. He's 27, 28 years old. So he's entering a prime. See, when Devin was at 135 and moved up to 140 and now going to 147, how old is Devin?
It was like 24, 25.
You see the difference?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you know what you're talking about, you know what the sport is about, don't listen to the foolishness. Conviction will take you someplace where others dare not go. You will take risks. You will gamble. You will test the waters. You will test the heart. You will evaluate. I remember watching All the Smoke with Roy Jones and Andre Ward. And they were talking about the fight where Bud beat Kell Brook. And the punch that got Kell Brook in trouble.
It was a jab.
It was a jab, but people were saying, well, Brook wasn't, he wasn't the same fighter and this and that. People forget that from a points standpoint, Brook was winning the fight. He was winning rounds. Bud put an end to that once he got his distance down and saw what he needed to do. And Brook got caught with a shot he didn't see because Bud is experienced enough to punch when you punch.
Yep.
That's the best time to hurt someone. I've asked in lives, chat members, when is the best time to hit a guy? When he's trying to hit you. Why? Because that's the only time legitimately that he's wide open. Because if you know the proper counter punch to throw, he can't defend against it while he's trying to punch you at the same time. And a fighter with conviction will put himself in a position to nail you a shot when he's gotten your timing down, he's gotten your rhythm down, and he understands when you throw a certain punch, he knows the shot to catch you with. if you watch the fight between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, the first fight in I want to say in the 10th round, Tyson, who had been measuring with his left and looking to throw these looping right hands. He wouldn't throw a straight right hand to save his life against Evander, but he was looping to throw overhand rights. And Evander was in the rhythm now, and he waited on that punch. And Tyson measured, and before he could cock the right hand to throw it, Holyfield came right over with his own counter right. Boom, hit him and knocked him clean across the ring. Before Holyfield started swarming him and the bell rang to save the round. That situation right there is a perfect example of what I'm talking about punching a guy when he's trying to hit you, catching him wide open. Because if we boxing and I shoot my jab out, look at how much is open. You know what I mean? It don't matter if I'm holding the phone or if I'm keeping my other hand right under my chin or whatever, I'm still open. Mm-hmm. The old trainers would teach you these things. These guys of today, they got you hitting the pads. Pa, 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 pa. Yeah, he looks sharp. How the hell you look sharp hitting pads?
That's aerobics.
Didn't Bruce Lee tell O'Hara in Enter the Dragon when he threw that board up and hit it and broke it in the air?
He said, boards don't hit back. How real is
that was 50 years ago, by the way.
Yep.
50. Why would it be different today?
Taebo is aerobics. Pad hitting is aerobics. It looks good.
All it is.
So it's just cardio, bro. It's cardio. You might work on some footwork, repetition. You cannot get ready for a fight hitting pads. In fact, hitting pads is new. It's hitting pads is how old? Stormy, like 30 years old, if that?
No, they had pads going back. I want to say, I think they had pads back in I want to say in the late 50s, early 60s. But a lot of people weren't, it was a new thing to do and everything, but it's like it wasn't really necessary. You know what's really good? That double end bag with the one that fill into and when you hit it and it moves.
Yeah.
That's because that's simulating activity. That's really good. Really good.
That bag will fuck you up too. If you don't get out the way, that bag will
absolutely.
Fuck you up. Yep.
That and the heavy bag. And you know why the heavy bag is really good?
You can unleash.
Not just that, but the heavy bag, it will give you the opportunity to put strength behind what you're doing and move with it, and it'll move back to you too. So for impact, it'll teach you to throw your shots shorter with a tight strength and power behind it, and then you can loosen up on the shots by taking power off and then go back to digging. It's like that's what is simulating what's the closest to real. But pad work, I could train a guy and never use a set of pads.
Don't need it. Don't need it. It look real sexy, but you don't need it. You don't need it. It's cardio. Charles Tillman has a great question. He says, is Canelo going to be fined? Asking for a friend. How much they fined Devin for shoving Loma? It was more money. They fined Devin more than, what was it? Because I think it was like more than my salary.
I think they were going for something like $400,000 or something.
$1,000 for what?
Yeah.
The fuck? Really? So this is a fair question. Are they going to fine him? I wasn't looking for it. I'm like, hey, that's what happens. But
Noah Randall says $250K.
That's more than
Eric J says 400. I thought it was 4 because they wanted to teach the black man a lesson.
Come on, man.
Take his money. Take his money. Ain't that what we say?
Devin should fight for half the purse. Devin should fight with one hand tied behind his back. Man, you guys are sick. That's a great question. I wasn't even going to go there. but that's a great question. Is it even considered? No. But nice one, Charles. I'm gonna go around and ask that. Nada 86 in that super chat. Much love and appreciation. She says, salute Drew and Stormy. All caps. And as always, salute to the mighty LDBC. Much love to everyone in the chat. Hashtag LDBC for life. Hashtag F the haters. Hashtag we outside. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the difference between Bud and Edgar Berlanga, I'm gonna move fast through this. Bud is a smarter fighter. Edgar existed in that fight because he was 30 pounds heavier, well, 20 to 30 pounds heavier than Canelo. I'm not even gonna go there. But he was heavier than Canelo. He came in there with a tough guy mentality. He couldn't outbox Canelo. And he actually got dropped. And the things that I seen Canelo popping off with him, it's not going to work on Bud. Bud is a smaller guy, but he's a smarter guy. And I'm just going to stop right there. Your thoughts, the difference between Edgar Berlanga and what Bud brings to the table.
I'll again, with short words, answer that in its entirety. Character.
There you go.
Character goes a long way. When you lack character, you find many roadblocks ahead of you.
Yep.
Doors close in front of you. Lock even. You get turned around. Go back. We don't want your kind here. With poor character. Did he not bite a man in the ring?
I was about to say that. Berlanga, y'all remember that? He lost the whole person that. He bit dude on the neck because he got frustrated.
Did he not elbow somebody with intention? Like,
Sure did.
you know, I mean, we've seen things and it's not a part of the fight game, but he did it, which lets us know when you resort to tactics like that, that means that you're devoid of something else. And character, poor character in boxing can lead to DQs. It could lead to being KO'd. It could lead to you being having points taken off. It's so many things where, and understand, we talk about boxing being a martial art, right?
Yes.
So look at it like this. You're a kung fu man. Your teacher has taught you as much as he could teach you, but he hasn't taught you the death technique, the death blow or whatever. And all you want to do is learn the death blow from your Sifu. But he's telling you, I won't teach you. And you're like, but why, teacher? I mean, you know, you want to learn it so bad that you're willing to poison the teacher to steal the manual. Huh? Poor character. Haven't we seen that in the movies? We've seen it. And then someone else has to come along and avenge the teacher for the bad student who's gone astray or gone awry, right? So I'm giving you examples and telling you the truth at the same time. Edgar Berlanga, as soon as he faces anyone who is good, confident, capable, it's over. It's over.
So, Stormy, am I crazy for saying Shiraz 80% can win this fight?
Shiraz can definitely win the fight, especially since coming off of the experience with Adames, because see, Adames was a lot better than he was told.
Yes. Yes.
So he prepared, and I don't know Shiraz, but I'm observing from a vantage point of paying attention to how things went down. Now, I do understand they say that one of his hands got injured during the fight too. If that's true, I don't know. They did say that, but Adames was better than he was led to believe. So it's like, wow. But had he been prepared for the guy that showed up, then he would have probably fought a different way. He's seen tape on Berlanga. He's seen what has gone down with Berlanga. And this is an opportunity for him to redeem himself now. And Berlanga, what is he doing? Chatter, 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 chatter. He's talking. He's talking so much now.
Yeah.
He is really a chatterbox. But he ain't done nothing. He's done nothing. He found himself on his ass, in the first or second round against Canelo.
Dropped him.
And then was content with just going the distance the rest of the way.
Yeah, do that, man. So, that's going to be an interesting fight. But Berlanga, the difference between him and him and Crawford is indeed character. So I got Crawford over that.
So you see and understand when I use those words, right? It covers so much, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
We ain't got to talk about jabs and slipping your defense and this and that. No, we're talking about the substance of what a man is made of.
Stop right there. Speaking of substance, Jaime Munguia.
Oh.
Wow. Jaime Munguia. Are we really about to compare Jaime Munguia to Bud Crawford? You know what? Let's just do this. Stormy, how's that B sample coming?
Well, after closer investigation and observation, it came back positive, as we kind of felt that it would.
Oh.
But the interesting aspect is no one has said anything.
Wow.
Shit Biz hasn't said anything since people love to listen to him.
Let's not move past that. Who hasn't said anything?
Shit Biz.
Oh. I wonder why. A no running law, a no running rule, smaller ring, which he's getting, a 6-figure knockout bonus. You got that. Jaime Munguia's B sample just came back dirty. I know y'all moonlighting, that's fine. I don't tell any of y'all where to go. Sometimes it's important for y'all to go over there to see what we're talking about and why we don't go over there. So I'm asking you. I'm not judging you. If y'all have gone by that guy's channel, has he said anything about that B? Stormy, when that B sample pop?
When did it pop?
Yeah.
When he did the first drop.
When did the news drop?
It dropped a little bit over last week.
Last week.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't want to say anything because I want to see who says something. Outside of Stormy, I didn't say anything about it. I want to see who's going to say anything. The bigger champ. Has Boxing Ego said anything about that? I'm asking for a friend. Has KQKC said anything about that? I mean, it's some serious shit. Stormy has said something about it. I didn't say anything yet. I wanted to see who was going to say anything. How the fuck Stormy is the only person that said anything? Say why? How? What? Is Shit Biz the grown adolescent saying, I want to press one if it's stolen. I want a clean sport.
We can start by getting his ass out of it.
I want a clean sport. Press one if they stole it. Jaime Munguia is a cheater. Jaime Munguia is a cheater. Press one if they stole it. So I got a small ring, a no running law. And Jaime Munguia is the cheater. Press one if you stole it. You goddamn monkey coon. Fuck out of here. Dummy. He should be the first. Y'all like to go over there and listen to him? He should be the first one talking about it. But he got a Canelo fight, y'all. Yo, watch this, y'all. After Canelo said, I'll never fight another Mexican again. Y'all forgot about that? Did y'all forget about that? Hold on. Wait a minute. Y'all forgot. And then when I get on here and start wilding out and acting a fool, it's look at Drew, look at Drew. Yeah, look at me. What am I talking about, though? Y'all remember when Canelo said, I will never fight another Mexican. And I got on here and said, well, shit, what if every black fighter said that? Y'all wouldn't have a goddamn sport. But you know what? Racists don't care because, y'all remember this? Black fans always complaining, go start a Negro league or something. Motherfucker, if we started a Negro league, y'all would have the most boring sport in the world. We are the mob. We set the standard. The fuck you talking about? Y'all got to do everything to beat us. Ask Tyson Fury. Ask Daniel Kinahan. Canelo says, I don't want to fight another Mexican. I said, well, you know, technically Benavidez don't count. First of all, he's American. And he's only half Mexican. Fight him. He didn't want to do that. And as soon as we start talking about Benavidez, what does he do? He gives you Munguia. It don't get no more Mexican than that. What happened? Y'all didn't hold his feet to the flames for even saying that? Okay, cool. You see why I don't listen when people talk about what a black fighter said? I don't listen to y'all. I don't care. Bill be capping. Bill be lying. Y'all forgot what Canelo said about Mexican fighters? How he don't want to fight them? Then lied. He lied because he fought Jaime Munguia. Right? Now, what would y'all rather see? Jaime Munguia or Bud Crawford? Please stop talking to me. Please stop it. There's no comparison. Plus, now we know the Reynoso gym, by the way. Reynoso gym. Reynoso gym. Reynoso gym. Reynoso gym. Reynoso gym. B sample.
They ought to call his gym the slaughterhouse.
They should. And nobody's saying anything about the Reynoso gym. How many fighters popped out of there? Like 4, right? And Canelo's one of them.
How many videos have I done on Reynoso? At least 3.
At least 3 or 4. You don't want to listen.
And I don't do them all the time. I do them when the finger points at him and I'm like, nobody's going to say nothing? Well, here's my thoughts. And here I am. This time, I didn't even mention him, but a little bit in the Jaime video because I'm like, where's the where's the backup? Where is it? People saying something.
Man. Motherfuck Jaime Munguia. How about that? There's no comparison. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Now let's go to oh boy, Jermell Charlo.
The man without a plan.
You hear the silence? It's deafening, right? Let's just skip past Jermell Charlo. Fuck him. Oh, this is a good one, y'all.
Have you ever seen anyone give up their legacy like he did? I mean, he lost it all. What's that song that Whitney used to sing? Didn't we almost have it all? What the hell? It's like he went from being the man to nobody.
And nobody was looking for him after that. You know what, man? See, all right, I'm not talking about him. He played himself. Nice job, Mel. Nice job, Mel. Here's a good one. John Ryder.
Canelo's twin brother.
evil twin. He's like the evil version of, actually, Canelo's the evil version of him. Now that I think about it.
You just got, his hair is dyed dark.
Doppelganger, right? That's wild. John Ryder. That's the fight where allegedly Canelo fought under some duress, because that was the fight that his brother was kidnapped allegedly, and he had to come up with some bread, whatever. But he whooped Ryder's ass. And okay, there's no. I see that, Prince Savage. I'm gonna cook on that tomorrow, because apartheid said something, and I'm gonna shine a light on it tomorrow. These goddamn monkeys can't get out of their own way, man. So John Ryder, there's no
turning into Planet of the Apes around here.
I mean, there's this, you know, I really, you know what's gonna happen one day? They're literally gonna ask one of these niggers a question, and before he says something, I swear you're gonna hear a ape noise. They're like, yeah, Jamel, how you think you're gonna fare against your next opponent? He gonna go, well, nah, you know, Texas. I'm like, whoa, rewind the tape. Did he just grunt? They're gonna throw the camera on him, and his lips gonna do one of these. And you're gonna be like, oh shit, it's happening. Y'all remember that last Planet of the Apes where the humans were like slowly turning?
Yep.
That's these niggas. I just saw Apartheid Hitchens. Wasn't he not stuttering? He was stuttering in front of Bill. Yeah, I saw it. I said, look. You saw his lip poke out? You saw that? I'm gonna call Bill. I'm like, yo, you smelled banana, didn't you? When you walked, that's how you knew he was here.
It was like watching on your monkey video when the moon come up and he started changing. He couldn't contain himself.
All these niggas running to the house. Bill was taking a stroll in Manhattan and said, I smell banana. They followed that smell, and here come this nigga. Look down. He got a pair of Air Force Ones that look like gloves. If you know, you know. He got a pair of Air Force Ones that look like gloves. Like, what the fuck? How'd you get that? I don't know, something happened to my feet. How your pinky toe look like your big thumb? It's gonna happen. Well, anyway, there go John Ryder. There's no comparison to Bud. But Gennady Golovkin, y'all. It's a good one.
Now I got something to say about him.
Yeah.
And this is attacking it from a totally different angle. By the time he fought Golovkin for that third time, it was 3 years removed from when anybody was interested in seeing them fight once more. However, the first two fights that took place between them, the reason that Golovkin didn't fare better is that he's a victim of his own choices. He had the opportunity to step up to the plate of opportunity and face certain other fighters, and he avoided them. And Canelo and his people recognized that characteristic trait. And that's when they decided, I think we could get in the ring with him now. Because, you know, they sparred together. They were familiar with one another. And at one time, Golovkin was a A-list fighter, but he wasn't fighting the guys he needed to fight.
That's right.
He should have fought the big Charlo. He should have fought Andre Ward. You know, there were fights that were there for him, Demetrius Andrade, whatever, but he wouldn't do it. He was like avoiding. And so how many times have we said this? When guys do that, it takes the edge off. And so you get in there with someone who is trying to come up and they come up on you. Tank Davis is going through that right now.
That's right.
He avoided so many opportunities. He had about 3 or 4 of them.
Yep.
That could have certified who he is, what he is, everything. Win, lose, or draw. Excuse me. And he didn't. He avoided that. And then he called himself picking a guy that he can bring him up and do this, and that guy sees the opportunity. So Triple G is a victim of that for himself. It's his own fault. And the fact that Canelo was willing to fight him again 3 years removed from when the fight had any life to it or whatever, should have told him something, but he was too stupid to realize that. He wanted the money too. That was the bag for him, just like Charlo took the bag facing Canelo. Because there was not another fighter in the sport where Triple G could have made the money that he made fighting Canelo. And this last point here that I will make solidly, Triple G knew that Canelo couldn't knock him out.
Right.
He knows that he might lose a decision, but he won't get knocked out.
Right.
That's real.
Yeah. Yep. Those are the intangibles. That is a fundamental difference. Let me address this guy, Jerry. I'll just both his comments. Don't block him. Don't block him, please. This is an appetizer. He says Crawford sees how calm Canelo is, and he's trying to get under his skin. Not going to work. I've never seen Bud Crawford attempt to get under anyone's skin. I've never seen that. I don't know what you're seeing, Jerry. They ask him questions, he answered, and he answered with confidence, and he's just simply saying, y'all are going to be shocked when I beat this man.
Bud does all his talking in the ring.
Does all this talking in the ring. He don't have to go. He responds when people do that to him.
In fact, that's been the only time in response to someone. He responds. You do something to him, he responds. Remember when Jose Benavidez called himself he tried to push Bud or swing on him or something, and Bud threw that punch. I'm glad it didn't land,
because he'd have fucked up the payday.
He would not only would have went to jail, but he would have knocked that dude out right there on that dais.
I'll tell you something better than that. They had a little run-in prior to that, and
he told him.
He said, you know what? This is what it's going to be. Step the fuck outside. And he said it low. He ain't need no audience. But you heard him. He said, it's like that. Step outside. Fuck them. If you want to throw the payday out, you can throw it out. Let's just do it now then. Jose ain't go outside. So all it is, getting under his skin, that's not what Bud does. That's totally not what he does. And that's not even what Canelo does. Because Canelo takes care of his business in the ring. Canelo don't go on these campaigns, start talking about personal shit that he knows. You know why? Because Canelo has money. He has a fan base. And he's going to have to perform anyway. He don't need to get in all of that. Now, he got dragged into that when he was dealing with Caleb Plant and that shit. It has happened. But he didn't initiate it. So all of this, you're saying Bud is trying to get it. No. They asked him a question. He's answering with confidence. Yeah, I'm going to knock him out. No, not knock him out. He says, yo, I'm going to win. That's what he said. And who shoved who? Canelo shoved him. That's a sign of him being weak, mentally weak. Now, Jerry also says Ward retired at 32 while Canelo was still at 160, just stopped. I don't know what that means, Jerry. I don't know what that means. Why? What are you bringing up Andre Ward for? I'll let you elaborate on that. If you're going where I think you're going to go, it's not going to work out for you. Because we have actual history with facts on our side. All right? Let me just put this out there before you elaborate on that. If you're going where I think you're going to go, There was a mention a few years ago about Canelo versus Ward. Guess who didn't want that smoke? Canelo did. Golovkin, guess who didn't want that smoke with Ward? Golovkin did. We have proof and facts on our side, but I'll let you elaborate. Maybe I misunderstand.
And I just said a moment ago, I said Triple G, there were fights on the table that he could have taken that would have made him a more battle-tested warrior, win, lose, or draw. So when he went in there against Canelo, he would have performed better against Canelo. But see, when you sidestep those opportunities, what happens is there's no growth. AJ was supposed to take several fights in his career. He didn't take the matches. And so there was no growth. He lost to a guy that used to be a sparring partner for him, who was young and coming up in his youth. He was a teenager. And he knocked AJ out in the gym. And then come back a few years later and knock him out in a live bout. And is the heavyweight champion.
Now, whose fault was that? Now, Jerry says, sure, what did Canelo do to cause Bud to push up on him at the stare down? Yo, dude, you do know this is boxing, right? They asked him during the presser. They're cool and cordial with one another now, but he says when it's time to lace it up, it is what it is. Wasn't him and Porter good friends? And when they said, when Bomac said, yo, Bud, you're losing, he said, what? What happened that next round? He had to put his friend down like a dog, and he did it. He did it. These are athletes, Jerry. Sometimes you got to fight someone that you're close to, that you came up with in the amateurs. You may have shared a bunker with when y'all on the Olympics or amateurs or whatever. But when there's millions of dollars on the line and you're trying to feed your family, you got to put all that bullshit aside, man. Now, they ain't the best of friends. It's a stare down. Sometimes it gets rough. I don't mind Canelo pushing Bud. But Bud got up on him, and it got him annoyed enough to push him. Bud didn't push him. He pushed Bud. And I'm wondering where's going to be the $400,000 penalty for that, like they did Devin in, or tried to do Devin in Loma. Jeremy, what it sounds like is that, number one, you're young. Number two, you're probably Latin, which is fine. Being young and Latin, that's fine. But boxing, you don't know. And I can tell that you're an emotionally driven fan because of what you said here. Y'all gonna be some heartbroken brothers. When
just know that on September 13th, he'll have all the opportunity in the world to push Bud.
Yep.
But Jerry, I guarantee you, he ain't gonna be the one doing the push.
Let me educate you, Jerry. This is boxing. It's gonna be a winner. It's gonna be a loser. I'm picking Bud, and I'm breaking down the reasons why I picked Bud. You're picking.
You know what? Let me say. You know what, Jerry? You know what hasn't been done before? It hasn't been done before that Canelo is going to look so bad. You're going to wish he didn't take the fight. That's what's going to be done. That ain't done. Listen, we're not talking about Floyd Mayweather. We're not talking about Erislandy Lara. Okay? We're not even talking about Dimitri Bivol. None of those three that I just mentioned have the temperament of Crawford. And his skill set is above all of them with the exception of Floyd, because he might be right on par with Floyd, but has a different disposition than Floyd, which makes him extremely dangerous. Dangerous.
I'm 57, white, fans of both, been watching boxing since Ali was heavyweight champ. What else you got? You know what I got for you? I got a link. And I would like for you to turn your camera on.
You know what they got for you, Jerry? Me.
Pull up, Jerry. And I say this respectfully.
Me. That's what we got for you.
Don't come up here cursing. Don't come up here flashing your ding-a-ling. Someone did that to Marco last night. Turn your camera on and let's have a conversation. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to curse. I want to hear what you got. You're 57 and you're white. Make me a believer because I don't believe you. You could be. but let's talk some boxing. I'll wait. Come on up. No one's gonna scream and holler and curse. Let's have a conversation. I need to know why you're so animated. You're coming in here firing shots. This isn't an argument. This is my opinion based off of the facts. I'm going through the box rec. None of Canelo's opponents really match up with Bud. Not even Bivol. And Bivol outboxed him and won. You know what the difference is with him and Bivol? I'll tell you. Bivol don't have that killer instinct. He could have easily smashed the gas on Canelo and got him out of there. That's why Canelo didn't go up. They fight better BF because that was a death sentence and he knew it. That's why he didn't fight.
Hold on. He says we can't get past him in the chat. Yes, we can. Chat, do your business. Chat,
Jerry,
do your business.
Jerry, don't say anything else. There's a link there. Click the link, come up. I'm inviting you on my panel. Let's talk boxing. Can you do that at 57 years old? A fan
No
of
more
boxing?
sidetracking the show, man. Go on, finish going down the list. Fuck
right,
that dude, bro. Fuck that
Yep.
dude.
Y'all smack him with
That's
the
what he
wrench.
come here for. He come here to sidetrack the show. He's not gonna come on. He had an opportunity. He had an invite. He declined. He just wanted chitter chat in the chat. That's why I say bust his fucking head to the white meat. Let's keep the show moving.
March 30th, 2025, he just made that page. Jerry, you're a troll. You're not 57. You're not white. You might be a knuckle dragger. You might be that. You might be one of my stalkers. Who knows? I got a lot of that going around. But you had an invite. We wanted to talk some boxing. You didn't want to do it. We're looking to make friends. You might have had something to say, and you didn't. You just wanted to disrupt the class. Don't even get to the back of the classroom. Leave. Get out. You're done. So let's get back to the list. We did, okay, Caleb Plant. All right, I'm going to go fast with this. Caleb Plant, love Caleb Plant. But he ran out of gas. He ran out of gas in his last fight. There's something with his...
I don't think Caleb ran out of gas against Canelo.
Talk to me. What happened?
I think that he went south psychologically, his focus.
You know what?
Remember
right.
the conversation?
In the ring.
Not too bad for a guy that's 23 or whatever, huh? It's like
during the fight, he
got to a place where he done made it to a certain point in the fight, and he's like, yeah, you know, I'm hanging with him. I mean, he wasn't, his thought process wasn't I gotta win. It was like I'm here with you. You know, can't believe it's true. Pinch me, I'm dreaming. That kind of thing. And that's what happened. And it ended up getting turned around on him.
And by the way, Caleb was trying to get under Canelo's skin.
He really was.
That's what he was trying to do. And it didn't work. Didn't work because Canelo, one thing I will say about Canelo, that dude's focused, man.
Yeah.
That dude is focused.
And he relies upon his opponents. Listen, he is so, oh boy, let me say, I'm going to say something that's very unpopular here. He is so short of certain talent that he dines on your mistakes.
No, you're right, Stormy.
And what happens is each and every opponent has done things where he's been able to capitalize at some point, which goes back to my thing of when I spoke about conviction with Crawford. It's not going to happen. Hitting Crawford hard ain't gonna make him go away.
Nope.
Coming forward against Crawford is not gonna make him get scared and run. Those things are not, you're going to have to beat him.
Yep.
And when I say beat him, you got to beat him up, you got to beat him down, you got to get rid of him. And guess what? When you do those things, you have to put yourself in a position
That's right.
They're going to happen to you as well.
For
And
those exchange-
Canelo is, after 60-something fights, that's not the kind of fight he really wants right now.
Now you heard me say that when you sign to fight Canelo, you're already down 4 rounds. All right, now when he has to put himself in that kill zone, what happens? You can get killed. Now what happens when he's up and Bud starts to walk forward? All the names I mentioned don't do what Bud does. All right, remember, we got to stop acting like Canelo ain't been beat in the ring, man. We've seen it. We know what gives him problems, and Bud provides those problems. Scott, he says, why is Crawford, his nickname? Oh, his nickname is Budrick. So we call him Bud. He calls himself Bud. That's his middle name. Budrick is his middle name.
Let me ask this. Do you think that Dimitri Bivol is a better fighter than Bud Crawford?
No, he's not. And let me explain to the chat. Dimitri Bivol, if he was quote unquote Bud's size, Canelo would have probably tried to walk him down. And I'm gonna say something that might be unpopular. I don't think Bivol is as strong as Bud. Huh? Yeah. How could that be? He's at 175. Hey, listen. Deontay Wilder is like 210 pounds. Every fighter he's fought outweighed him by at least 30. He's flatlined. How many of them are already? What makes you think Bud is any different? The difference between him, the Bivol, and Bud is killer instinct, and I do think strength. And I think that Bud is a better boxer than him. I think so.
Yeah.
You guys got to stop acting like we ain't see this dude lose. We know it gives him problem. Pure boxers. What happens if Bud puts him on the back foot? I keep telling y'all this dude has busted wheels. He's going to be trying on that head movement. Bud's going to get him. Y'all not going to wake up. You know it's going to be the shock? Y'all remember watching Lamont Roach and Tank? And by the time I got to round 5, he was like, what the fuck's going on here? It's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those. This is different. And all the names we mentioned, forget the weight, all the names we've mentioned, those guys have intangibles that don't measure up to Bud. If Bivol was a natural 168, I don't think he beats Canelo. If he was an inch or two shorter, he don't beat him. He got away with it because of his length, his size, and all that other stuff. But no. All the names I mentioned, it was not Bud. Bud is a killer. If y'all don't understand by now that Bud is a killer, he's a killer, bro. When we get to round 5 or 6, and y'all are confused that he's lost some rounds and shit like that, I'm not going to be confused. All the names I've mentioned so far. Whoa. Billy Joe Saunders. I'm going to accelerate this. Billy Joe Saunders, do I need to give you an explanation? Avni Yildirim. And I want you to think about the people he avoided. He didn't want to rematch Erislandy Lara. He got smoked by Floyd Mayweather. The Austin Trout fight was debatable.
He dug the well.
Joe G. Valdez says he had trouble with Madrimov. You're late to the party, buddy. Now watch this. Joe G. Does Canelo fight like Madrimov?
Whoa! No!
No, because he has busted wheels. He's not going to be on the balls of his feet going in and out. Canelo can't do that. He got busted wheels. But I've seen Canelo get outboxed in a lot of spots. Austin Trout, Floyd Mayweather, Dimitri Bivol. I've seen him avoid fights. David Benavidez. Oh, but David Benavidez, that's not Bud. No, actually, you know what? It might be worse along some different lines. You really think Canelo's going to outbox Bud? You really think so? We
I
got
bet you one thing. I bet you, even though it's not on the table at this present moment in time, say that Bud is successful against Canelo. I bet you he wouldn't run from a fight with David Benavidez.
I bet you he'd fight him. He was finna fight. He was finna go to 154 and fight the Tower in Inferno, and then Errol jumped the line, and then Bud said, "Fuck it, then." And that's how we got here. But he was willing to fight that dude. I mean, what more do you want? Styles do make fights. Madrimov and Canelo don't fight the same. That was the movement giving Bud some little problems. Yeah, it was. But he ain't got to worry about that with Canelo because Canelo ain't got feet like that. Next. Let's go there. I'll say, so I said Abner Yildirim. Y'all don't even want to talk about that. Callum Smith. Oh, here's a good one. Sergey Kovalev. Y'all want to talk about that? Let's not. Let's not. You don't want to talk about Sergey Kovalev. When he came to the ring, Canelo came to the ring looking like a silverback gorilla with pimples on his back. You don't want to talk about that. Let's not talk about that. All right. Daniel Jacobs, Rocky Fielding. You want to go there? Danny Jacobs? Oh. Here's the good one. Amir Khan. Who was doing great work until he wasn't. You think Bud is that stupid? Here's the deal, man. Y'all are in love with the mystique of Canelo. I'm telling you, I don't understand it. I'm looking around. You let people tell it, you would think this dude is undefeated. Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all even know? Well, all right, check this out. Is Canelo the perfect fighter? I want y'all to answer yes or no. Is Canelo Alvarez the perfect fighter? Let me help y'all out. No. He's not. Because we've seen him lose. Am I saying that Bud is a perfect fighter? I'm not even saying that. I'm saying he has intangibles, and he's going to bring something to that ring that Canelo's never seen before. And he's going to have to think outside the box. The names I just mentioned, Abner Yildirim. First of all, for those of you that paid for that, God bless you. Y'all got money to burn. Rocky Fielding? You pay for that? Okay. The night he fought Abner Yildirim, Anthony Durrell fought the same night, which means he could have fought him that night. They could have met. I'm not saying Durrell would have won, but I'd have paid to see that.
Let me add something to this about Bud being the perfect fighter. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say this because he's a black fighter, okay? 41-0 look pretty damn perfect to me.
No one's beating him.
41-0 look pretty damn perfect to me. That's only 9 victories away from the guy that y'all can't get out your mouth.
Yep.
And like I said before, he has a different disposition and conviction than that guy. You don't want to give him the credit. I'm going to give him the credit until somebody beat him. And it ain't going to be Canelo. It'll be somebody else maybe if he hangs around the sport. But this ain't the guy. Smoke that.
Y'all want to see Madrimov beat Bud? Y'all can say that. Just like I say Lara beat Canelo. Oh,
exactly.
What?
We could play this game.
What do the record books say?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, Madrimov had another shoe in his ass after Bud, didn't he?
He sure did. Hey, but Yuriorkis Gamboa rocked Bud. He did. Miguel Cotto's little brother rocked Canelo.
What?
Oh, that's my brother Xavier. Yo.
What's going on, champ? How's everybody doing this Sunday afternoon?
Chilling, brother. What's good?
Well, let me shut these dogs up. Shut up. I'm sorry, guys. I'm out in my yard, you know. just hanging out. Yeah, no, I have a different point of view
Go ahead.
than everyone. My point of view is, Crawford's been one of my favorite fighters the last 10, 12 years since Yorkis Gamboa. When everybody was high in Yorkis Gamboa then, and 50 Cent walked Gamboa in there, and, Crawford had everyone against him. You know what I mean? I think, and my observation may be completely wrong. I've been wrong 1,000 times. I'll be wrong 1,000 times more.
It's
I
boxing.
think that I think that Canelo is cherry picking. Are we hoping that this is a cherry picking gone wrong? Absolutely. He should be fighting David Benavidez and no one else at this point. That's the fight that we've been calling for years. He went after Crawford so he didn't have to fight Benavidez. In his mind, maybe he's looking at it as a much easier fight, I guess, in his mind. I don't see Crawford beating Canelo. I would love for him to beat him. I don't see it. I could be dead wrong, but I don't see him beating Canelo right now.
Well, you got plenty of time between now and September 13th to get some bifocals so you can see things a little bit clearer. Because I'm going to tell you something.
Go ahead.
Everything that I've said up to this point, most people are still not taking in what makes the difference.
Okay,
The
so I got
the intangibles that I've spoken of align perfectly for someone who doesn't even have the natural ability to keep up with the other guy. Now, you've heard Drew say during this broadcast several times, the guy has busted wheels. Okay. His last fight against Skull, excuse me, you could see that even when he cut the ring off in certain instances, he wouldn't let his hands go.
Absolutely.
Why didn't he let his hands go once he had the ring cut?
Afraid that he get with something coming back.
Why would he be afraid of what's coming back?
You're absolutely right.
No.
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Why would he be afraid of what's coming back?
Oh, no, obviously, Skull is a bigger fighter.
No.
Yeah.
You said he'd be afraid of what's coming back. His size doesn't have anything to do with what comes back.
Sometimes it does.
No, size does not imply.
No. I think that Canelo got hit with something earlier in the fight.
Say it.
Yeah. And he's afraid. That's what I'm saying. He got hit.
What's going to happen when Bud hits him with something?
What's going to happen when Canelo hits Bud?
I asked you a question. You countering with a counter question.
But that goes both ways, though. But that goes both ways.
Come on now. No. Listen.
That goes both ways. But I mean, I was a fighter. I know exactly what you're going with this.
When I've asked you a specific question.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, what if
Bud
hits him?
Question then,
what if Bud hits him and nothing happens?
You're trying to put Canelo in a certain space. I'm not
putting him in no space. I'm calling it what I see.
I'm trying to get you to be observant of what transpired with Canelo and Skull.
Okay.
Skull did not show dominance.
No.
But he did enough that some people even feel, including himself, he won that fight. Bud has a different disposition.
Yeah,
but
Bud's a dog.
Do you think that Bud is a better fighter than Skull?
Here, I don't know, man, because this is.
Well, then that's what. No. Then William Skull is a pound for pound candidate. Then
no. That's. I think it's. Is he a overall better talent? Yes.
No, listen, bro. I just pointed it out to you. I just pointed it out to you. William Skull is a pound for pound fighter. If you're trying to say he's not a better fighter, that he is a better fighter than Bud, possibly.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I think
all this time in the pound for pound rankings.
Listen,
Bud's been pound for pound for fucking a decade.
And I've been around for that. When I was on here, I was the only one picking Bud to beat Earl Spence.
That doesn't matter.
Okay, well, this is what I'm saying. Just because you're the better fighter doesn't always mean you win the fight. The better fighter doesn't always win. Ricardo Mayorga was a terrible fighter, and he beat Vernon Forrest. I mean, he was a terrible fighter. Have you ever seen him in the gym? He showed up with 4 losses or 3 losses, and he beat Vernon Forrest, the pound for pound king at the time. That doesn't always mean anything. It doesn't always mean he's gonna win the fight.
The difference here,
Ricardo Mayorga beat Vernon Forrest because it was something psychological between the two of them. There was an intimidation factor that he had with Forrest that people couldn't see, but it was evident when they fought both times.
I thought Shane Mosley was a better fighter than Vernon Forrest, and Vernon Forrest beat Shane twice. The better fighters doesn't always win.
Sometimes
you've been
the
around
whole
boxing.
adage of style make fights come into play.
And I think that Crawford is a perfect style for Canelo.
How? He can do everything that Floyd did and can change to orthodox and southpaw.
I don't think that Crawford's going to come in and stick and move. He's not built that way. Crawford is a dog. He's going to go for the kill, and I think his best chance is his worst chance.
Well, here's my take on that.
Okay.
Crawford isn't. See, we're putting that on him, but he's not dumb. He's not going to run in there and try and stand toe to toe with him. He's going to box Canelo.
Honestly, I think that's his best chance.
Well, he's going to outbox Canelo, and what people are getting confused is they anticipate him getting caught with something and the fight's going to be over. And I'm thinking quite the contrary. I think Canelo might close the distance, and when they get caught in the exchange, Canelo going to eat it. And when I say eat it, I don't mean eat it and wipe
the other day.
What'd you say?
We had this conversation the other day.
Yeah, we did.
That's what I said. I think that's a perfect fight to get Canelo on the back of his heels. Absolutely.
Right. So to keep it very simple, people are acting like Bud can't hurt Canelo.
Oh, anyone can be hurt, brother. Anyone can be hurt. Anyone.
And that's what I'm saying. And you brought up a good point with Mayorga, because no one saw that coming 2 times.
I was at the first fight.
No one saw Mosley and Forrest 2 times. I'll give you something else. I picked Bernard Hopkins to smoke Felix Trinidad, but the way he smoked him, I didn't see him doing it. Because how he fought, that 4-man tournament, Keith Holmes. He destroyed Keith Holmes because he muscled him and elbowed and he bit him and he did all kinds of shit. I said, Tito, he ain't ready for that. But he outboxed Tio. And once he took away that left hook, it was over with. He had nothing else. See, the thing with Canelo is he has busted wheels. And he's going to be surprised at how strong Bud is. Now, when he has to punch with Bud, you do know that Bud got a longer reach than Canelo. People ain't even thinking about that.
No, I know. And when you have to punch with in the mix, the shorter arm guy gets there faster than the guy with the long arms, right?
Okay, but
however, here's my thing. We compared earlier, and I had to log off because I had to fucking deal with this yard, and my wife's been hounding me about. We compared Bud to the last 5 opponents that Canelo had, right? Now let's compare Canelo to the last 5 opponents that Crawford had, which was Madrimov, Earl Spence, which is a 50% Earl Spence, right? Because I honestly think that wasn't the best Earl Spence. Sean Porter and some Armenian guy, I can't even pronounce his name. How do you compare Canelo to those guys?
Well, how would you compare the opponents?
The opponents to Canelo, yeah.
How would you compare them?
I mean, I don't think they're anywhere near.
Anybody that fought Canelo compete with Bud? I think Bud smokes all the Canelo's last opponents in the last 3 years.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, that's a tough assumption. I mean,
I
would love to believe that.
To get knocked out by Canelo. I think Madrimov outboxes and makes it 12 because he got great feet.
I mean, I think that freaking Canelo knocks out Madrimov in 5 rounds. The guy just stands there, and he's gonna get hit. I mean, look, is this a good fight? Yes, this is a good fight. I think that I hope Crawford can catch him and knock him out. That's who I'm rooting for. I'm gonna be putting my money on Crawford. I just think that the punching power, and Canelo is gonna beat him, and he's gonna get unnecessary.
So why would you put money on it if you know he's gonna lose?
I put money on. I always put money on the underdog, bro. I put money on Rolly. I
Yeah,
put money
you
on
told me
Rolly.
that. You did.
Yeah, I told you that day that Rolly was gonna win. But I mean, I always put money on the underdog because you never know. You know what I mean? Boxing, there's no such thing as logic in boxing. Logic doesn't exist in boxing. You know what I mean? I'm
Okay, so
hoping that
that's what I'm saying. If you feel that way, the illogical thing will be to pick Bud. I'm telling you that Bud is gonna beat this dude.
I don't think so, man. I hope so. I don't think so though. It's another legacy pat for Canelo, and people are gonna be, oh yeah, Canelo's the greatest. No, he's not. He should have fought freaking.
I think
He should
Canelo
have fought David Benavidez.
I think he fucked up with this one.
I mean, I hope so. I really hope so. I really hope that's the plan. I mean,
It's gonna be an AJ situation. When AJ came here and lost to Ruiz, the first thing he said was, I wish I lost to Wilder under these circumstances. That's what he said. When
yeah, I mean,
Bud,
absolutely. You know,
Bud his hand raised, he's gonna say, shit, for all of this, I should have just fought Benavidez. And in that aspect, he'd be correct. Let me read the super chats real quick. Rhino Devibe says, I got Bud winning 8 rounds to Canelo's 4. Once Canelo gets tired, Crawford will dog walk him. It'll be a great night for the sport. Hashtag LDBC or die. And that's another thing. Canelo, he's another person that has cardio problems. All right, that's another thing. Scott Linehan in that super chat salute, he says, feed Bud the Bud Canelo winner to Osleas Iglesias. I think it's too. He's a Cuban dude. He's a Cuban dude. Too early.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking
I know
about.
who that is.
Promising guy. Not ready yet.
Too early. It's too early.
Too early.
It's too early. I don't think he's ready for either.
I thought he said Julio Iglesias. I'm like, what the fuck?
Ned Needy Bennett. Yes, this is the LDBC channel. You see up there it says LDBC Strong?
Right
It's
up top.
an LDBC channel.
I mean, like I said, Drew, I think this is, for some odd reason, I feel like Bud's being set up. This is my view. Canelo's the only fighter that Turkey Al Sheikh has a 5-5 contract deal with. You know what I mean? He's got to have to do more fights with him.
Bud asked for this. So I don't think he's being set up. He asked for this. You feel me? He asked for it. He don't have to do this.
This is a business, right?
Yeah.
And Stormy knows it, and you know, this is a business. If you sign a 5 contract deal with a guy, you don't want him to lose his second or third fight.
I don't know, because there's been a lot of organic outcomes in Riyadh, man.
Oh yeah, you're right about that.
You know,
4th and 5th, yeah.
But didn't have to do this. He could have stayed at 147 and took the Boots fight. He could have went to 154, tried to clean up there. He just blew past 160, and he's saying, I want the smoke with the best in the game. So if anything, we could say that Bud's trying to pad his legacy, but I think he's really trying to not. He's just not trying to collect the paycheck and say, "Well, I did it. I tried."
I don't think by far Bud's trying to collect the paycheck. And I told you that the other day. I think Bud truly thinks that he can win. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna get this narrative out there. You know, being a fighter or being in the gym, no fighter's afraid to fight each other, bro. There's this money or diva stuff, but guys on the chat sometimes, oh, Bud's afraid of Canelo or Canelo's afraid of Bud. They're not afraid of each other, and they're not afraid of losing to each other. You know what I mean? They used to do this shit for free. You know what I mean? Get trophies out of it. Fighters aren't afraid to fight to each other, dude. I think that the diva sometimes gets the best of them, but I don't think Bud's coming to lay down like Jermell Charlo. But also, by the same token, I don't know how he's going to react when he does get hit by Canelo. Because I had all the faith in Charlo.
Yeah. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna end it with this. Canelo's there for the taking right now. He's old and dog years. He's there for the taking.
And what makes you think that he's not going to get up for this fight?
He'll get up for it, but Ali got up for every fight in his life. But by the time he fought Trevor Berbick, it was 19.
He knows he can't lose to this man. He's a smaller man.
You can get up for anything, but if you're old, you're old.
Okay, let me ask you one question before you end it out on this. I don't think Bud looked good in his last fight either. I thought he won, but I don't think he looked good. What makes you think that Bud's not slipping? He's 38, haven't fought in a year and a half. I mean, What do you
He
think
don't have
makes you think?
he don't have the same level. He don't have the same mileage.
Okay, but mileage or not, I mean, he didn't look good in his last fight.
But Canelo doesn't provide the same looks that Madrimorph has.
You
For
think
instance-
Madrimorph is better
for
than
instance,
Canelo?
It's easier for you to swat a bee out your face than it is a fly.
Do you think that Madrimorph is better than Canelo?
No.
Okay, then
But
this is a whole different. This is a whole different ballgame.
Can Canelo fight like how can Canelo provide Bud the same looks that Madrimorph did? He cannot because he got busted wheels.
I'll tell you what. There was a guy named Nate Campbell that I used to follow a long time ago. Had lost, got knocked out by Robbie Peden. I don't know if you guys remember Robbie Peden.
No, I do. I watch
Right.
that fight.
And Nate was geared up to fight Juan Baby Bull Diaz.
Juan Diaz.
Yeah, and everyone's telling me, "Oh man, Nate's got busted wheels," and they had every reason to tell me. I was at a bar, and I made them put that fight on, right? Because they fought in Mexico, and I won $3,000 that night. I said, every fighter's got one last fight in them, and Nate had gotten knocked out before. He got up for that fight, and he beat the dog shit out of Juan Diaz. Now, I'm not saying that Canelo's going to do the same, but hey, man, you never know. He may get up for this fight.
So are you saying that this is Canelo's last fight?
No.
Okay.
But
So we've
I'm
seen Canelo
but I'm not-
lose before.
Oh yeah, but just because you
Can
lose
Bud
doesn't make
provide the fights that Canelo lost or had trouble with? Yes or no? But can Bud provide those same looks?
no. But just because you lose doesn't.
Think
Yeah,
about
fine.
what gives Canelo problems.
No.
Can Bud provide those same looks? Yes or no? That's all I'm asking.
Oh, can he provide? I don't know.
All right, look, I'm gonna ask a question again. Austin Trout, Eris Landry Lara, Dimitri Bivol, Floyd Mayweather. Okay? All of those guys.
Yeah, Bud
gave
don't fight like them.
Canelo problems.
Yeah, but Bud don't fight like those guys. He don't stick and move.
Huh?
Bud's gonna come. Did Bud stick and move against Earl Spence?
Did he need to?
Okay. Did he stick and move against?
You know what I'm saying, did you see the interviews?
He-
He said Errol was supposed to be this bigger puncher. He said once Errol hit me, he said, "Is that it?" So he didn't need to stick and move. He put him in the pocket, and look what
When's
happened.
When's the last time you seen Bud stick and move? That's not his game, brother.
But wait a minute.
That's not his game.
Wait, hold on. How do you know that if you never seen it?
Well, if you fight a certain way, right? That's usually how you fight. Just because you have it in the back pocket, I mean, maybe I could be wrong. Like I said, I could be dead ass wrong.
Okay, well, I'm saying, brother, you don't know because we haven't seen it. That don't mean he don't know how to do it. I just told you. I didn't know Bernard Hopkins was going to beat Felix Trinidad the way he did it. He outboxed Felix.
He
I thought
outboxed him, outmuscled him. He did everything.
No,
He
but no,
did.
he outboxed Tito. He outboxed him, and then he knocked him out. I said, "Oh shit!" I didn't see it. I got the result that I wanted, but not like that. I didn't see that coming. Gaddy Ward too. Gaddy outboxed Mickey Ward. He fought nothing like the first fight, and a lot of people said, "I didn't know he could do that." Yeah. So we never seen Bud have to do it. That don't mean he can't. He knows how to do it.
Okay. But
You know what I'm saying? So
you know,
we don't know. What I do know is Canelo can't fight like Madrimorph.
I think he's a much better fighter than Madrimov. I mean, I think honestly, with all due respect, I think that's not a good.
Okay,
That's not a
so
good
with all due
comparison.
respect, we can't say Canelo's going to beat Bud because of how Bud looked against Madrimorph. The two don't match. They don't
Okay,
do the same things.
And the same thing as far as like, what's this? Skull and Crawford, two different fighters, right? Two different ways that they fight. Like, look, I don't think that that Bud has zero chance. I think this is a 70-30 fight. You know what I mean? Because you can't just disrespect a champion like that, especially a champion of the caliber of Crawford. You know what I mean? I just think that he's being set up in the wrong way. He should have fought maybe Tszyu or Fondura or Charlo would have been the best fight for him, but he fucked that off.
Language is important, brother. You're saying that he's being set up. He asked for this. He could have got whatever he
Oh, that's
wanted.
right. He asked for that's right.
He could have got whatever he wanted. He wanted this Canelo smoke because he feels he can do it. He feels he can do it.
Well, God bless him, dude, and I hope he can, because I'm tired of this whole Canelo is being compared to these great fighters. Is he a good fighter? Absolutely, he's a very good fighter. I'm not gonna sit here and just say the dude sucks, because he doesn't.
No. Canelo's
You know what I mean?
not trash at all.
And look, and if for either fighter, right? And I'm gonna play devil's advocate, right? Or double-edged sword, how they say. If Canelo wins, he'll be losing up until the moment that he wins, or it'll be a good fight, right? Or if Crawford wins, he's gonna win a very interesting fight. This is no way a dog walk for either one.
What have you seen in Canelo's fights as far as dimensions is concerned? I know Stormy talks about fighters having a particular number of dimensions.
Dementia or dimensions?
Canelo fights one way. You know why?
He showed us he can fight another way before.
Well, here's the thing. When I say Canelo fights one way, it's because that man has selected his opponents that only provide one type of look for him. Think about this. Think about this for a moment. He really thought he could box with Floyd Mayweather. That failed. Oscar didn't want him taking the Lara fight because he knew what was going to happen. All right? He thought he could beat Austin Trout, and he did. But a lot of people said, yo, if that knockdown don't happen, that fight goes the other way.
That fight was much closer than people make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was, I got family that live in Las Cruces and El Paso, so I was the one saying that Trout won, but that was my bias in me. But it was a much closer fight than people thought, for sure.
Yeah. What I'm saying is we've seen people with good feet give Canelo a lot of bad looks. Some of his best performances are the people that do walk forward, like James Kirkland. And then you end up looking like a highlight reel.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but he also did well against, Caleb Plant. He did well against Billy Joe Sanders. He did well against Danny Jacobs, who has, good feet, good movement. I mean, like, there's devil's advocate for both.
The names you just mentioned, they don't have the same intangibles that Bud has, and that's the edge. The edge is going to be psychological.
I think Danny Jacobs came to win.
Hold on, Blue Blood wants to step up. Blue, I just dropped the link. Blue Blood's going to step up. Rhino, back in that super chat, he says people forget that Bud did what Bud did to Porter when he found out he was down. I mentioned that. When he was down on scorecards, he said, imagine what he'll do to Canelo if he's down on the cards. Yeah, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something crazy, bro. It's gonna be something crazy. Lock up the puppies in that super chat. He said, Drew Titan and Stormy B Man, salute to you, good brother. Y'all, that link is for Blue Blood. It's for Blue Blood, y'all. It's a Blue Blood. Yeah, X. It's the intangibles with Bud. I'm completely and let me tell you, I wasn't a believer for a few years. But I was at the Errol Spence fight, and I was like, holy smokes. Now, granted, there was some things involved. That's not for me to speak on if Errol ain't speak on it.
Yeah, if he doesn't speak on it, we can't.
Said,
right?
When they got into the grapple, he said, no, this dude's not stronger than me at all. And it showed. It showed. And, I fucks with Errol. That's my boy. But we haven't seen him since.
And you guys gave me a hard time that Friday morning, bro.
Yo, man.
I was Team Crawford. You guys were freaking roasting me that morning.
Hey, man. No, listen.
You guys were killing me that morning.
I ain't got no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I ain't got no problem. I picked Errol to win by a devastating knockout.
That morning, I think you did a pop-up that morning, right? Of the Saturday morning. Man, you guys, me and some other, I don't know who the other was, but you guys were roasting me that morning bad. I was like, these guys need to take it easy on me.
Next morning, I said, damn, bro, that was bad. That
thought
was bad.
I thought that Earl was perfect for Crawford. You know what I mean? I just don't know that Earl ever recovered from that car accident, and I thought that draining down 147 pounds was really bad for Earl. I think he should have been 154 pounds a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to make any excuses for him. He lost, and that's what it was. You know what I mean? I heard that Boots tried getting the Virgil Ortiz fight, and the Virgil Ortiz fight didn't happen.
I don't know what's going on there. Those guys apparently can't lock horns for shit. I don't know what that is. But I'm standing on this, and I don't think I'm wrong. It's boxing. Could be wrong. I don't think
what if this is we could all be wrong and it just goes and becomes a draw? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna bang my head on the goddamn concrete if this is a goddamn draw.
Yeah, you know, we could all look. This is what makes boxing great. The fact that we can have these debates. You could think your way. Stormy can think his way. I could think my way, and everyone has who they're backing up. I'm not backing up Canelo at all. I just think that the guy should have been fighting David Benavidez because he's been running from him. He's been acting like a pussy, not fighting him. And I'm hoping that this is a cherry pick gone wrong.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Look, I got a little bit of an issue. Hold on, I'm texting Blue. I told him the link is in the chat.
There's a problem with the link, Drew, because it took me about like 10 minutes to finally get in.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's coming. Okay, he's in the chat. He says he's coming in 3 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
But let me ask you a question, Drew. Let me ask you a question, guys.
Go ahead.
What if I'm right and Canelo goes in there and beats him in 4 or 5 rounds? Let's just say that.
You're right. You're right.
But
for him to win,
but he shouldn't get that praise though.
For him to win in 3 or 4 rounds, Bud will have to do something extremely insane. And I'm gonna tell you this: if he wins, it'll be because Bud made a mistake. It's not that Canelo did anything.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You know what Amir Khan's mistake is? You know what his mistake was?
His jaw.
Amir Khan falls in love with his work.
Yeah.
He needs to 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, get out. He could have did that for 12 rounds.
He's like an amateur fighter, right?
He too many punches in the mix, and he was getting set up for traps the round before, and he got too comfortable, and that's why he ate that hand.
But my question to you, Drew, is: does Canelo deserve any of the praise if he does beat Bud?
Yeah.
Why? He bought a 47-pounder, bro.
So what?
He's not beating the guy at 68.
So I give him full credit. I give him full credit for being undisputed at 168. I never took that from him at all. But watch this.
Maybe I dislike him more than you do.
We got to give him some credit. I mean, I just went down his box rec. I mean, hold on. Let me go back. We'll go back to his box rec so we can see it. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna start from. Let's start from Gennady Golovkin after the rematch. Rocky Fielding, Daniel Jacobs, Sergey Kovalev, Caleb Smith, Avni Yildirim, Billy Holt, Caleb Plant. I give him full credit for that. Dmitry Bivol, that was an L. Gennady Golovkin wasn't supposed to take that. He said he was done with Gennady Golovkin. He lost to Bivol, went back there. And in between that, let's not forget, he tried to fight Badou Jack at cruiserweight for the WBC strap, but he wanted Badou Jack to drain himself 18 pounds while still fighting for the belt. He said, fuck you, go fight Benavidez. He didn't do it. He gave us John Ryder. Then we got Jamel Charlo, was a train wreck. Jaime Munguia, after he said, I'm not going to fight no more Mexicans, he gives us Jaime Munguia. Edgar Berlanga, no one asked for that, but he did it.
Did you hear about Eddie Reynoso's new boxing gym name?
Oh, shit. What is it?
Jamba Juice?
Shut up, bro.
Yamba Juice?
Shut up, bro.
We going to Yamba Juice.
Oh, hell. So we got Langa, Skull, and now we got Bud. Bud is the bigger name than all of these guys. I mean, he's even a bigger name than Bivol. He's more of a household name.
Yeah.
And Triple G was hot once upon a time, but that's the end of that. You feel me?
I mean, Kell Brook went up in weight, was a better boxer than Triple G, and was winning the fight until he got clocked.
Yeah. So I think, is it safe to say that if he beats Bud, that's one of the best names on his resume?
If they were the same weight class, yes.
Okay. So if this goes away, I think it's going to go. Where does that put Bud historically, in your opinion?
Top 10 best of all time.
Top 10, yeah. Because he's undisputed at 40, 47, and he just jumped
60.
2 weight classes and went straight to 168.
Yeah. Top 10, top 5, somewhere around there.
That's straight Hank Armstrong shit right there.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, right? I mean, that'd be. I would love to see that in my lifetime. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that's the case. I'm cheering for Bud just like you are. I just have a difference of opinion of who I think is going to win.
Yeah. Tom Brown says, does Canelo get credit if he beats Bud? Got to give him credit.
You ain't getting it from me.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give him credit because you know why? Bud wanted to smoke, right? And I'm gonna tell y'all something else. Let me share this with y'all. Y'all remember when Jamal Charlo was talking shit to David Benavidez? David Benavidez turned around and said, "Hey, you dead ass? Let's get it." And y'all know what Jamal Charlo did? He said, "We in the same weight class." All right, so what the fuck you talking though, bro?
All right.
You know what I mean? Y'all remember that? I said, "Yo, you know what?
I still want to see Platinum Charlo.
That was a duck, bro. Jamal, that was a duck, bro. You done talk mad shit." And David said, "Yo, we could fight about it." And he said, "Oh, we were in the same weight class." Jamel did the same thing when Bud beat Errol. He jumped on the rope, looked down right in Jamel's face. He said, "You're next," on some Goldberg shit.
Yeah.
He said, "You're next." And he said, "I don't know why he talking to me for. We not in the same weight class."
I got Canelo next. Canelo's not in your weight class.
What I said back then was, that's the fight right there. Because at that time, Jamel was undisputed at 54.
That would have been the best fight to watch.
That would have been the best fight there. It'd have been Omaha versus Texas.
That would have sold out AT&T Stadium like you have no idea.
Come on, bro. And that would be for another undisputed fight. And
Bro,
thank you, Jamel, because he took his ass up. You're going to tell Bud you ain't in the same weight class, but you took your ass up and fought Canelo and laid a complete egg.
Never fought since.
Nerves, bro.
And never fought since.
Never fought since.
That dude went and took up Pilates, bro.
Look, I'm whatever happens with the Charles happens. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Breaking news. For those
Hey,
of y'all,
dude, I'm about to hop off. I got to finish my yard, or else my wife, she's gonna kill me tonight.
Yo, Blue is coming to talk to you specifically, bro.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Where's he at?
He said 3 minutes. He should be on his way.
All right.
Give him 3 minutes. Breaking news.
Well, Jaime Bubia's
Halliburton just there you go. Oh, there you go. That's right.
Look.
Halliburton just tore his Achilles.
Look, bro.
This is game 7 tonight. He tore his shit.
Yup.
Oh boy. They beat OKC without. That's a big yard. Those are some big dogs. My God. Man.
Yeah, I've been out here since like 1 p.m. Dude, it's 6 o'clock.
What's the temperature?
86 degrees.
86. Man, it was 92 today, and Tuesday it's going to be 100. And that New York heat, because we got all.
No, that's no joke, bro. I was just in the Bahamas about 2 months ago, and it was like 75 degrees, and I could have swore I had COVID. Couldn't fucking breathe, bro.
Man, we get the humidity.
Oh, that's no joke.
They
bro.
told the elderly, don't even go outside. They said to stay home. My mama had a doctor's appointment. They called her and said, "Nah, don't even come out the crib."
No, it's bad.
Nah, it is fucked up. There you go. There you go, Blue. Wait, hold on. It's connected.
Right.
There you go. Blue.
Blue.
What's shaking, my guys?
What's good? What's good? What's
Yeah,
good?
that's my boy Blue.
What's goody? What's goody? What's goody with y'all?
Where did I hear that from? That's my boy Blue. Is that from Old School the movie?
Yeah, that's from
Yeah, Old School the movie
Oh yeah.
with the Will
You
Ferrell.
my boy. You my
You're
boy.
my boy Blue.
You my boy, Blue.
And me and Blue always going back in the chat and Instagram.
Yeah, facts. So salute, Stormy, salute, Drew. Man, bugs, man.
How you feel, bro?
Man, I'm just a squirrel in your world, man.
What you got,
You
Blue?
know
What
it.
you got for the topic, brother?
I'm enjoying the dialogue, man. This is this is a breath of fresh air, man. You know, I could sit here. I was eating my dinner. I just came from the gym, listening to y'all. I was listening to y'all in the gym and just got back, just finished eating, man. And this is the kind of conversation I like to hear, man. You know what I mean? Like we can have it could be clear dialogue and we can have clear conversation, you know what I'm saying?
But you can't talk boxing with everybody, Blue, because it'd be insulting your intelligence. Because a lot of people don't know shit about boxing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's the biggest problem. And some people boxed before and they still don't know shit about boxing.
And they still don't know. Yeah, and they think that is a gateway to them to talk about it. And if you didn't box, you don't know nothing what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say this though, because I was listening to what you were saying, and I wanted to push back where you were saying that Terrence Crawford hasn't displayed that style of fighting, but he has. If you look at there's two fights particular. Look at the Brettis Prescott fight, and look at the fight with Victor Postol. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He fought that way, right? So he showed us he can do it. As he got older, he realized something similar to Floyd, right? As they aged, they realized, wait, I ain't got to work that hard. I could stay right here and make you miss in a phone booth. But remember this. Now, keep this in mind, right? Because this is something that we got to keep in mind. Because it's a lot of reminiscent of Floyd Mayweather. What's going on with Terrence Crawford right now? Remember when Floyd fought Madonna? No, he fought Cotto. And after he fought Cotto, everybody said, he ain't got no legs no more. His legs is gone.
Yep.
He can't move, right? And there's no way he gonna beat Pacquiao. And then he fights Canelo, and he beats Canelo.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not moving that much because he don't need to, right?
Yeah.
To beat him, but just enough, right? To stay out of harm's way. But then he fights Madonna, right? In the first fight. And once again, he can't move. He too old. His legs is gone in the first fight.
And then he stepped to him in the second fight.
And then he boxed him. What he told us after the first fight? The second fight, I'm gonna rematch him, but it ain't gonna look nothing like this fight. And y'all gonna be mad.
Yeah, he made the proper adjustments.
And he made it easy, right? He could move. So the thing is, with Terrence Crawford, is that people continue. Everybody talks about the Madrimov fight. Well, first of all, Israel Madrimov fought in a manner that nobody expected. He didn't even fight like that in his past. That herky-jerky, he had the perfect game plan, right? To throw Terrence Crawford off and throw his timing off. Similar to Maidana in the first fight with Floyd, right? And Maidana's fight with Broner. It was herky-jerky, awkward movement that Terrence Crawford in that fight said, all right, so the thing I'm trying to get to is that Terrence Crawford has the ability to adjust to whatever you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. So when you watch the fight with Madrimov, in the beginning, Bud was moving. And then he realized this dude pump faking. He ain't coming forward. So then Bud said, all right, well, I'm gonna get flat-footed and I'm gonna press the fight. Now I'm gonna come forward. Because this dude pump faking. He doing all this herky-jerky movement, right? Trying to give me the illusion that he gonna jump in, but he's not. So what Drew was saying, and I understand what Drew was saying, right, is that Canelo can't fight like that. He's more predictable. He's more traditional, right? And we got to remember, styles make fights. So I say this all the time, right? Yeah, you. It may look that way. Remember, Manny Pacquiao destroyed Miguel Cotto. Floyd, quote unquote, struggled with Cotto, but when they fought,
Yeah. I mean, that fight with Miguel Cotto, I see what you're saying, but that's also like this. Like when Sugar Ray Leonard, and Stormy will remember this, Sugar Ray Leonard, when he was going to fight Marvin Hagler. Marvin
mm,
Hagler is a come forward guy. He's gonna come, and he's like a pit bull coming after you. He became
mm,
the boxer, and Sugar Ray Leonard became the hunter. You know what I mean? This could be completely
right,
in the comparison.
because here's the key thing that you're missing about that. That's great that you said that, because also, like Stormy could tell you as well. And shouts out to Stormy being
Hey, Stormy,
one
I'm
of
not
the
calling
last.
out your age, bro. I just know you
No,
just got
he
too much
one of the
knowledge here,
last.
brother.
I always want to acknowledge Stormy, man, because our greats like Stormy, Kurt, Scrap, these dudes don't get enough credit, man, and
No, they
I
don't.
don't think we don't get enough acknowledgement. So we know that Stormy knows, and it's no disrespect to myself, Drew, or yourself, or anybody else, but we know Stormy knows,
Hey,
right?
Stormy from my hometown.
Yeah. So it's like in the first Sugar Ray Leonard Tommy Hearns fight, it was expected they reverse roles.
They reverse roles.
Yeah, they reverse roles. But the thing is, Canelo don't have the ability to reverse the roles. That's the key factor.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have the ability to reverse the roles. He's going to be exactly who we know him to be in every fight. He don't have the ability to reverse the role. The one fight he attempted to do it was the first Triple G fight, right? Which I thought, I'm like, man, he looked good to me because he had mobility, but he always have stamina issues. So in the second half of that fight, he started to fade. He started to be more stationary, and that I think that ultimately cost him the fight, right? Because he couldn't box no more. He couldn't move. He couldn't. As the championship rounds came around, he couldn't move like he was in the first half, because that's just not who he is. Tommy Hearns and Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd and Terrence Crawford, these dudes have the ability to do that if need be. That's the difference. He don't have the ability to do that. He is going to be, if he does, right? Madrimov shocked the world, right? He came in.
I don't think he shocked the world, but I think he did better than we all thought.
Well, when I say shock the world, I'm talking about us as boxing fans, real hardcore boxing fans, because we not a cut. He don't fight like that. You know what I'm saying? So he came in with a completely different game plan to throw Crawford off. But even still, Crawford adjusted to that. He still adjusted to that. And when he
can't compare Madrimov to a Canelo.
You can. Here's the thing, right?
Those are two different fighters.
No. Here's the thing. You can. This is the thing. Canelo don't have the ability to fight like Madrimov.
That's all I was saying.
He don't have that ability. He's a better fighter. He's a greater fighter, but he don't have that ability to throw Crawford's timing off. He's not going to do that. Canelo is going to be who he is.
Yeah, but even when you say being who he is, that's not an easy style to beat, regardless.
Oh, no, I'm not. By no stretch of the imagination am I saying it's easy. Go ahead, Stormy. Sorry about that.
Sorry about Stormy.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to what you were saying, Blue, because talking about Canelo and the type of fighter that he is, he's not even as good at being that as he once was, because there's the decline.
Mm-hmm.
You add the fact that there's a decline, and you still have a guy who is a multifaceted fighter, multi-dimension fighter, who can do a variety of things in there. Then he's in there on the wings of a hope and a prayer. But what I said earlier, and you said you were listening to us, I said something earlier about Crawford that nobody talks about. And to hearken, you mentioned our brother Kurt. Kurt was talk about intangibles all the time.
Yeah.
I spoke about Crawford's conviction.
He's a dog.
That is no. Don't equate conviction with being a dog. because it's not the same thing. And I am at liberty to make the distinction between the two.
Okay.
They're not the same. Conviction, which I identified earlier in the show, is when you have a fighter who understands the climate, what they need to do, what their objectives are, their motivations are. There's a lot that factors into your conviction. In this time, you don't have a great deal of fighters who are fighting with conviction. Canelo has feasted on a number of guys who don't have conviction. I've tried to say this how many times, and people are still not getting it. Because if you look at the lay of the land, you will see there are plenty of fighters out there. They are okay until they are checked.
That's right.
And when they are checked, meaning being tested, there's failure. Failure to the degree that guys don't even want to rematch. They don't want to rematch. They don't even want to have the first fight because they're afraid of what the outcome may be. But when you have conviction, you apply yourself to the point that you force what the outcome will be. Because it is predicated on your belief in self, your abilities, and your talents, and the fact that you've put in the work. When you were in school and you studied for exams and you aced them because you studied and you knew the material and everything. But if you didn't do your homework and you was playing around and everything, you're saying and hoping and throwing up those Hail Marys that I wish I could get through this. Am I right?
Story.
1,000%.
I think you're right. There's a lot of fighters out here that don't have conviction. You're
They
absolutely
don't have
right.
conviction.
So
Being
and
a
we
dog,
said we
you know what? If you're a professional fighter, you're a dog.
yeah, exactly. It takes a lot to be a professional fighter. I'm with you 1,000%.
That's why I say there's a difference. There's a
And when
distinction.
you say the word
But
conviction, you're right about Crawford, right? You're 100% right about that. And we said, you just said that Canelo hasn't fought a lot of guys, or if any, with conviction. But who can you say that Crawford fought that has conviction?
Errol Spence showed a lot of conviction.
I don't think Earl
Even
Spence
with
showed
whatever,
nothing in that fight.
even with whatever was
He
going
didn't
on
quit.
with him, whatever, the man showed it. It took the referee to stop the fight. He didn't stop himself. He was still trying to fight. There are guys who would look for a way out. Didn't Amir Khan look for a way out of there with Bud?
He sure did. I was there.
And didn't Kenny Porter pull his son out of there with Bud?
I wouldn't say those guys had conviction. I think
Now,
they were
Sean
brave, but
Porter
they
got a
didn't have
lot of
They
conviction.
understood the climate, brother.
yeah.
They understood the climate. See, you're still talking from the edge, man. I'm trying to bring you inside.
No,
You're still
I'm inside.
talking on the
But
precipice.
Look,
First of all,
I'm inside.
Xavier, there's a reason we have one mouth and two ears, brother.
Yes.
You're so busy ready to respond. You're not even absorbing what is being offered.
Yeah, most people talk and don't
How
listen.
can you taste my tea if you do not empty your cup, brother?
I get what you're saying, Stormy. I do too. But I look at it. I get it. I'm with you. A lot of
You
people.
don't get it, brother.
No, I do.
And don't be offended.
No,
Because
I'm never offended, bro. I got thick skin.
Listen, I've done this, man. I've done it.
Oh,
You're
likewise.
one of those, I can give it to you, and you'll still go out there and make the mistakes. You know why? Because you were saying, I know, I got it. And you're out there.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, it happens. You're one. You are one. I've seen it. I did a Tuesday tussle where I talked about, you can break it down. People have 5 personality traits and characteristics based on the laws of the universe. You can be a combination of one and more, but there's simply 5. Guess what?
Yep.
We have 5 extremities: the head, the arms, the legs. You have 5 fingers, you have 5 toes.
Yeah.
You see? You
I'm
have
actually
5
listening to a book called The Laws of Power right now. As we
You
speak.
have 5 senses. That's the law of the universe. You have never heard another coach or trainer or mentor break it down so easily for you. And people still don't absorb because there's a lot there to unpack. Our brother, the dearly departed Curtis Anderson, we used to talk, man. The conversation was so elevated, sometimes it wouldn't even be about boxing. But even when I come here and I try to do this, it's like it's not being received. And that's because the society that we live in today, they give you everything to help and assist with the distractions. I was speaking with Shawa earlier about this. Mm-hmm. It's just like people getting caught up in race. Mm-hmm. There is one race, the human race. Exactly. But society has taught you that others are different from you. There's different colors, shades, huh? But do we all bleed red when you cut us open?
Absolutely.
We all have hearts and livers and lungs and all of that. But people see things different because of the influences. Now, what are you influenced by? Are you influenced by something that draws the ire of intelligence? Or are you drawn by that thing that caters to what your desire is? Remember, when you talk about person, that's selfish. That's within you. Mm-hmm. But if you can see from an open standpoint, remember I said a moment ago, I'm trying to bring you in, but you're on the precipice, you're on the surface dweller. In order to absorb the depth of something, you have to get involved in it. Mm-hmm. Conviction means these things. This is what I'm talking about. For anybody that think, well, where is he going? I just brought it home. Conviction. I talked about this. Bud Crawford has shown this, and people are still not giving him credit for what he has achieved. He doesn't have to beat Canelo to prove what he has accumulated thus far.
No, he's an all-time great regardless if he wins or loses.
He does. Be prepared for that.
He's a great fighter, win, lose, or draw. You know what I mean? And Stormy,
my great brother. Let me say this. Let me tell you why. Hold on. Let me explain to what Stormy is telling you. Right?
Yeah.
While he's talking to you, you're still doing it. You know what? Like he's trying to explain to you, and you like, no. Yeah. No. He's like. Hey, he's gonna be like, no. He's gonna be great either way. Yeah, no. So you're not being able to receive the message because your brain is still at a place where you're trying to respond to what he's saying instead of just sitting and listening and absorbing what he's saying. You feel me?
No, and look, listen. Maybe because I'm doing a few things at once here, I'm listening to him 100%. I listen to Stormy all the time when he's on here, and what I'm trying to get across is I just have a difference of opinion of who I think is going to win. That's all it is. If we all thought the same, then why even have a fight? You know what I mean? There always has to be someone who thinks different. We all think different. You know what I mean? I just think that Canelo is going to win. Do I like Canelo? No. You've heard me many times here. I don't like how he moves or nothing like that.
No, I get it. But look what you. All right. So when I was saying like you have on deck your response before you listen and absorbing the message, right? So what I'm saying is like, so you're not. Yeah, you're not responding ignorant because you understand what you're talking about and you are listening, but you're not completely absorbing the message, right? Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, when I said that, like, Madrimov, he fights like a specific certain kind of way, Canelo can, you like, but Canelo's a better fighter. It doesn't matter if he's better. He don't have that ability to do what Madrimov did to throw Terence Crawford off. You understand what I'm saying?
No, of course.
Like, I'm not saying that he's a better fighter. We know he's not, right? For instance, we know Manny Pacquiao is a better fighter than Chop Chop Corley, but Chop Chop Corley gave Floyd a way harder fight than Manny Pacquiao did. Right? It's because of why. It's because Chop Corley had the ability to make a specific adjustment.
The better fighter
Right?
doesn't
So,
always win.
but no, it's the adjustment, right?
Adjustment,
It's
yeah.
this. It's your physical capabilities. You can be a better fighter, right? But that doesn't mean you can make the adjustment to throw me off, right? For instance, to change sports, right? Some players may give Michael Jordan problems that some other greats can't, right? It's just intangibles and little things that they can do that you may not be able to do. And you could be a greater athlete than me, a better boxer, fighter, whatever. But you can't make the adjustments that bothers me, right? So what we're trying to say is that Canelo has also, like what Stormy was just saying, he's also started to fade, right? Because he got injuries, he got wear and tear, right? Time, right? He's starting to fade. He's not even the same guy he was. He's nowhere near the same guy he was when he fought Triple G, the first fight. He's not that guy anymore, right? So the limitations that he have, and again, we're not saying that it's guaranteed Crawford gonna win. Nobody's saying that, and we're not saying that Canelo's not great. Yeah, he's great, but he has limitations. He's susceptible to certain things that he's susceptible to certain things. For instance, he's susceptible to certain things that Danny Jacobs just wasn't willing to do. That Terrence Crawford is willing to do, right? It's not about the dog in him. Terrence Crawford is going to win based off of what adjustments he can make. He's going to adjust. And like Lara fought Canelo, he still makes the same, even in those prime years, he still makes the same mistake. He cannot cut the ring off to save his life. He just simply can't. And at 35, he ain't going to start now. He can't cut the ring off. He couldn't cut it off. People talk about his size and his strength and he's bigger. That's easy. That's lazy. I said this earlier in my stream. That's a lazy mentality because obviously he's bigger. He's fighting at a heavier weight class. So instantly you ask people, how is Canelo going to win? He's going to knock him out. Who? Okay, well, show me who he knocked out. Outside of, he was getting outboxed by Amir Khan, Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders. They made the mistakes that Terrence Crawford is not going to make.
You know, Blue, you bring a strong point, but we don't know that until Terrence gets hit.
I mean, we don't know if we don't know if we're gonna wake up tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Terrence has never fought a guy that punches like Canelo.
Why hasn't he?
Wait a minute.
Why hasn't he?
He's never fought 168 pounds.
Well, Canelo fought at 147.
That's not the same fighter, 147 he is now, bro.
Why isn't he?
I think he's a much better. Well, he was much better.
We're not talking about better. You'd say in power.
There's a little thing called Jamba Juice.
Is he stronger now than when he fought Miguel Cotto? That was a damn good fight.
I think he is.
Based off of what?
Jamba Juice.
I mean,
you saw the acne on his chest.
I mean, when you go down that road, you know what I'm saying.
Well,
but even so,
I'm trying to say it. Not say
this. I go to record to say this. I don't think Canelo fought a puncher like Bud.
Never.
I think Gennadi's a much better puncher.
Miguel Cotto's brother.
Right, and Drew, you made a great
Terrence
point.
was dropped by Yorkis Gamboa at 35. I mean, you can't just go.
He didn't get dropped. He didn't get dropped. He got hurt. But Drew, you make a great point, right? Because when you look at this situation, yeah, he got hurt by Miguel Cotto.
But
when you
I
look,
know that Terrence has been down a couple of times.
He's never been down. The only unofficial knockdown was the Igor Kavalauskas fight.
I thought Gamboa dropped him.
No, he didn't get dropped. He got staggered. His legs was new. He had a noodle legs, but he didn't get dropped.
What happened to him happened to Canelo, right?
Yeah, similar. But the thing is, you got to understand what Drew just said, right? Who has he fought that have, not even Floyd. Floyd didn't have the boxing ability, the adjustments, the athletic ability, and the power at that age. He didn't have that.
I don't think
So-
Floyd was not a strong guy at all.
No,
I think
no.
Floyd was
I'm
a
saying,
very
I'm saying,
underrated power.
but no. But what I'm saying is he don't have Terrence Crawford power right now. That version of Floyd didn't have this power that Terrence Crawford presents.
You think that Terrence Crawford is a stronger puncher than Triple G, Berlanga?
See,
those
you're
guys?
doing it again. You're doing it
I'm
again,
asking
great brother. You're moving the goalposts.
No, I'm not
Is he?
moving it, bro.
So okay. So you're not okay. So this is what I'm trying to say. This is what Stormy was telling you. You're not listening. Does Triple G have the all the abilities in the total package with the power that Crawford has? No,
No, he doesn't.
he doesn't.
No.
Listen,
So his delivery, does Triple G switch from southpaw to orthodox?
No.
No. Does Triple G have the counterpunch ability that Crawford has? No. Does he have the speed that Crawford has? No. Does he have the foot movement that Crawford has? No.
Being a fighter,
He's a big puncher. He's technically sound, but he's vanilla.
Okay, I'll tell you this. And Stormy, correct me if I am wrong. Even in sparring matches, I always a boxer, right? When that guy would hit me on the elbow, as strong as he was, the punch would dictate how I would fight moving forward. Does that make any sense?
no.
Man, Halliburton, they confirmed.
Brother.
They just confirmed Halliburton popped his Achilles, man.
No.
Yeah,
Damn.
popped his Achilles, bro.
That's it, bro.
I knew it, but you could see his was worse than Durant's and Kobe's, man. You could see it dislocate. You could see it pop.
Hey, Blue, that's a career-ending injury, correct?
The way that I don't want to say what today's science
came back. Yeah, Dominique Wilkins came back and dominated.
I mean,
off Achilles, you know.
Kevin Durant came back. Kobe came back for the year. He wasn't the same though. Man, that's nasty work, bro.
That's crazy. I don't live too far from where Kobe passed away either.
Man, that is nasty work, bro. That's sad, bro.
Hey guys, look, my wife just got home. She's looking at me a little sideways because I gotta finish this.
Hey, bro, I got the same thing going. I got the same issue going on, great brother.
I only stayed on because Drew said, "Hey, Blue, want to talk to you." But hey,
Yo,
listen,
bro,
guys, I always enjoy going back and forth. You guys talking boxing. I could be wrong. You guys could be wrong. But as long as we have a civil conversation where we can go back and forth and have educated towards you, I don't care. You know what I mean? You guys roasted me the day of the Earl Spence fight.
but no, it's great conversation though.
You know, and I could be dead wrong, or it could be the other way. But that's what makes boxing great.
That's the fun part.
That's the fun part.
That's the fun part.
Or like
You're
I
right.
told Drew, we could all be wrong. It'd be a draw.
And that, hey, bro, like Drew said, I'm pounding my head on the pavement.
Yep.
So if that happens, I'm never watching boxing ever again.
Yeah, bro, and it legit could happen because these judges is nasty work, bro.
Yeah, nasty work. You never know. I mean, what if there's a robbery? Or I hope it's not that way. I hope it's a good fight. My money is on Crawford. That's who I'm cheering for. I always put money on the underdog. I'm hoping that you guys are right.
Yeah, but listen, that's the best part about this, right? Because, like you said, we don't know, right? So suddenly, Father Time could tap Bud on the shoulder.
It can happen.
Yeah, it could happen overnight,
Yeah.
bro. He got 8 kids now.
Yeah, I mean, this. Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, it could. He got 8 kids. Dude.
Yeah, bro. This is that. But this is the difference. This is the difference between us and no disrespect to casual boxing fans. You know what I mean? Because they need it. Everybody needs them as the space in the sport. Everybody got a place, right? But the difference is that, this is why we want to see these types of fights, because the intrigue, right? The unknown, right? The hey, is this gonna happen? Is that gonna happen? Man, ain't no fun. I don't want to know as a kid what you act like you want to know what you got for Christmas, but you want to wake up and experience the shock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you know what you got on Christmas every year, man, what's the point in having Christmas?
What's the point of celebrating? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Like, that's what drives me crazy about these casual boxing fans. They think their guy's gonna win by KO, and the other guy doesn't stand a chance. What the fuck? This is
Right.
boxing. Everyone stands a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Anyone with 10-ounce gloves, he gets in the ring. All you gotta land is one punch, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me to think that Canelo fans think that this is gonna be, 2-3 round fight. It's crazy to me that Bud fans think that this is gonna be a wash. I think this
Right.
is gonna be interesting until it's not. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And
Regardless
that's
of how,
the best
regardless of
part
who
is
you go with.
if we sitting on the edge of our seat, job done.
Mm-hmm.
Love it, man.
Job done. That's what the point is. For us to be sitting on the edge of our seat and both of them to get out healthy.
Yeah, and at the end, we want that, right? Both of them get out healthy and, enjoy the fruits of their labor, because, we need them for entertainment for boxing, and they need us to, be boxing fans, right?
To pay their bills. They need us to pay their bills. You can say it.
Yeah, they need us to pay their fucking bills. You know what I mean?
That's it. That's
Even though
it.
there's a couple of fights I've seen in the last few weeks, I wish I can get my money back.
Yeah, man.
But hey guys, I enjoy always. I hop on Sundays or whenever you guys got time and want to debate or want to talk boxing. I'm with it. You know what I mean? I hope that people stop running from the boogeyman at 147 and Devin Haney, but I guess we're not getting that. No one wants to fight him.
Yeah, man. I was so disappointed in Richardson Hitchens today. Like, bro, come on, bro.
Apartheid Hitchens, that's his name. Let's get his name
Bro.
right.
How you represent New York like that, bro? Come on, man. What are you doing, bro?
I ain't claiming
Dude,
that.
that is ridiculous, bro. Like, to me, if all these people over here and I say it because we've seen it, all these people talking about how Ryan beat Dev, okay? Then why ain't y'all fighting him then?
Right.
If Ryan beat
But
Dev so easy, how come you guys ain't fighting him?
Right. But for Richardson Hitchens talking about Dev say he come down to 140. Like, come on, bro. Stop, man.
The kid don't want to fight.
He just don't want to fight. I honestly, I don't know. I mean, I feel bad for Dev because he's a good person. He's demonstrated nothing but professionalism in the ring and outside the ring, and he can't get a fight to save his life. He's the new fucking boogeyman at 140 and 147 pounds.
It's crazy, man.
Cook that.
And this is a guy who's supposedly coming off a loss.
Right.
I'm cooking
Crazy,
that
man. And a loss and a boring fight, right? Where he just ran.
Yeah, okay. He just ran, you know what I mean? Jose Ramirez is nothing to sniff. I knew that was me and Drew had several conversations that was not going to be an easy fight.
Right.
You know what I mean? Jose Ramirez is a good fighter, and he gave him problems, and that's what happens. That's boxing.
Right.
What would have Ryan done against Jose Ramirez? He probably would have gotten knocked out.
Right.
I'm gonna see your trash, bro. I'm gonna see your trash.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even want to talk about Ryan Garcia. The less we can do that, the better. You know what I mean? I'm not a fan of that man, that person at all. Or the other faggot, I forget his name, but whatever. But yeah, I would love to see Devin in a big fight. I just don't know who's brave
I want to see
fight.
I want to see Devin Rowley, since Rowley was talking crazy.
Everybody talking crazy, but they awfully quiet now.
Mm-hmm. Give us Devin Rowley.
Yeah, Rowley don't want to smoke. Devin knocks Rowley out, bro.
Yeah, Devin knocks Rowley out, dude. I would like to see
that just
David and O'Reilly.
What I said earlier when I talked about the guys not having conviction. They don't want to step up to the plate of opportunity because they're worried that they may look bad, they may fail, they may be exposed, all of that kind of stuff. And Devin is a guy who he come out with a list, and he's still on the list, and nobody wants to challenge that. Nobody wants to say, "Hey, I'm your Huckleberry," and that's really sad because it's really telling you the truth about the sport.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Some of
Yo,
the
hold
people,
on, y'all. Did the rules change in the NBA?
Well,
I
whatever.
don't know, dude.
This nigga just took 6 steps to a layup, and it
Oh
counted.
man, you
Yeah,
know the
yeah.
NBA is it's nasty work, bro.
You know, Devin's the
It's
only fighter. He got
diabolical.
his dads out there going traveling to different cities trying to get him a fight.
The NBA is diabolical, bro.
No, I stopped watching after Jordan, bro.
It's hard. It's hard to watch, bro. I'm a fan of basketball, but this is hard to watch.
Heck, I don't really watch
He
NFL no more.
took
I watch
6 steps. I
college ball.
counted it, and had to know to put it in slow motion.
Yeah.
I'm like 1, 2, 3. Yo, what the fuck, bro? That
Nothing was worse than when LeBron came up with the ball, stopped dribbling, held it, then started dribbling again. Like, bro. And dude was standing there looking like, dude started yelling at the ref, like, bro, he just stopped dribbling, started pointing, and then started dribbling again.
That's not
like
even a
Tank
Euro
taking a
step.
break
That's a
and wanting
whole. That's a whole colonizer step.
Bro, this
Bro,
is nasty work.
That's equivalent
Oh
to
my
Tank
God,
taking a break in the middle of a fight.
Bro, imagine. Yeah, exactly.
That dude took a knee, went at his braid,
Yo,
had
Blue,
some soda.
you know I got
Exactly.
yeah, Blue.
Huh?
When is Tank fighting Lamont Roach? Where can I buy tickets?
Hey, man, it's supposed to be August 16th. From what I'm told,
Your guess is as good as mine.
well, I told some people from PBC that say they just trying to work out some logistics, and it's going to be August 16th in
Did you see
Vegas.
Tank's tweet today?
Yeah, he's diabolical.
That kid.
He's diabolical, bro. He's just like he's not confident in himself
He's gonna
in this
lose.
rematch.
He's gonna
Yeah,
lose.
that's
I
the
got
route he's going.
I got Lamont Roach stopped.
listen, he's going just like the man he's molded after, Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson. Hey, I was just going. You took the words out of my mouth.
He's going right down that path, man.
Yep.
I think that the supporters, if they're smart, it's time to abandon ship.
Yeah.
It's time because otherwise you're gonna be heartbroken, you know. And
Yeah.
But see that whole thing when I talked about personality traits earlier, people fall into that category, and it's like that's why I say when folks are looking at things the wrong way. You know what I mean? It's like flash is for the eyes, for the sensories and all of that. But substance is for what's in here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Always go with substance. Always.
Bro, and I Stormy, I said this, right? When you, as an athlete of any sort, or just in a man in general, when you come up short in anything, and then you start using every excuse in the book, like, oh, I ain't have my trainers, my real trainers, and I wasn't fully locked in, and that's a dangerous place because now you're telling us that you are going to be fully committed, you are going to have your trainers, you are going to have the best camp of your life, and now the moment you face adversity and things don't go your way, and it's still going the same way. Before you, quote unquote, didn't have this and didn't have that. Now we're gonna see what your mental is really made of.
Who said this? Who said this?
Tank said that.
Okay, but he's only had Calvin Ford in his fight in his corner the last 7 fights. Before he
remember Calvin didn't train. Remember Calvin didn't train him for this fight.
Yep.
Okay, but he's won without Calvin because his trainer used to be.
He won with Barry. He won with Barry Hunter. He won with Coach Cunningham. Right.
Cunningham.
Yep. So, and I think when he was with Coach Cunningham, that was the best version we ever seen.
Absolutely.
So
what is he talking about then?
And that's what I'm saying. That's why this is a dangerous place, because from 5th round, 6th round, and it's still looking like the first fight or worse. Now he already showed us he gonna unravel.
Yep.
Attempting to bite him, shoulder shrug, wild, crazy knee. Right,
make a phone call during the fight.
Yeah, right. So yelling at his corner, right?
Tag team Ryan Garcia in the fight.
Yeah. So now you go into this fight, And you told us that all those excuses that you had are eliminated. And the fact that this is the biggest, when I seen this the other day, when he put up there, it's time to convince, he essentially said it's time to convince myself. When he said it's time for me to prove that I am who I say I am and who the people believe I am. At 30 years old? At 30 years old with 31 fights?
Oh, that's all bad.
That's alarming, bro.
The writing is all on the walls, y'all.
It's a fact.
He's gonna lose bad. Yo, y'all go ahead. Y'all know.
And now, and Drew, on top of that, now you're talking about showing up at this man's kid's school.
Oh, that's out of line.
Yeah, and putting his address. I'm gonna put your house on your house's head. Like, bro, what are you talking about?
Bro, if Tank said that to me, you better hope ICE come get me.
Yo, bro, that's diabolical. Like, that is so out of line. And then the fans, like Stormy was just saying, his fans, his rabid fan base, he has a rabid fan base that have rabies, right? His fan base, literally, right? They was in my inbox like, bro, you going too far. He just promoting the fight. Nah. Bro, when has women and kids been okay in any sense of war?
Bro,
I've never.
What are you talking about?
I can't name one fighter in the history of boxing that went as far as to threaten their kids and put the address of where their kids go to school at. I've never seen this in my life.
Drew, who even, what real man even thinks of that?
Well, Tank's not a real man. I keep telling y'all, man, he got touched on, but whatever.
You know, well, Tank's half a man because he's only like 5'3".
Bro, it's just diabolical, bro. Like, he as a fan here, you should have been like, come on, bro. That's not cool. It's not cool, bro.
Like, talk shit to me. Don't talk shit about my kids.
Right. Like, what did this man kids and house and family got to do with it, bro?
But you know what's crazy? Lamont Roach, he took it on the chin. He's like, okay, because you know what? We still got to fight. But you know what he did say? He said, yo, man, if we fight, watch him pull I'm mentally fucked up and I'm going to pull out the fight.
Right.
Tank better not do that.
Bro, if he do that.
Matter of fact, let me run this video. Blue.
Tank is gonna call Ryan and see if he can get the same doctor.
Run this video, because you know I'm a clown now that we talk about Tank. Hold on.
This summer, Tank Davis is Blackula 2. The latest vampire in boxing. More brutal than Berlangula. More terrifying than Tyson's teeth. More grimy than Collada's mouth. You can run. There's no escape. He will glamour you. He will hypnotize you. You will feel uncomfortable. Blackula 2. He will do what he wants to do. DEW. Move!
Yo, Drew, you ain't right for that, Drew.
You ain't right, bro. I gotta go, guys. I gotta go.
Yo, I gotta get out of here too. Yo, Drew, you ain't right for that one, bro.
Bad.
Yo, that's a classic.
Hell yeah.
Yo, that's classic.
I got jokes. And I ain't.
Yo, that's classic.
I'm gonna get him.
Yo, that's classic, bro. Not Blackula, bro. Yo, that's classic, bro. But yo, let me get out of here, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Yo, man, thanks for stopping by, brother.
You already know. Yes, sir. Stormy, salute, family.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Coach Eddie, man, I know you sitting there in silence the whole time. Man, what's up, brother?
Oh no, man! I just listening to the words of wisdom, man. Just soaking it all in. You know, that's what it's all about, man. Salute to you, brother Drew. Salute to you, brother Stormy B, man. Like I said, with the Bud thing, man, I feel very confident in this fight, man. You know, to me, it's like I don't even have any doubt what the outcome's going to be, because you know what he's bringing to the table, like Stormy put so well, is the intangibles. Bud reminds me of like a guy, MacGyver. It was the show back in the day called MacGyver. And basically, he's going to find a way to do whatever, defuse that bomb, whatever the situation is. The dude would take a paper clip and make it into a helicopter. You know, I'm just kind of using that as a, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, MacGyver was that guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's a problem solver. That's what Bud is, a problem solver, man. Yes, sir. And one intangible thing that when I see with Bud, it's not false bravado. Canelo's not used to somebody not being afraid of him. That's why he gets his way. Because you can fear will handicap your opponent. Yes. With to get him to not perform at optimum level because he's operating out of fear. Yeah. Bud is not that type of guy. Bud is your uncle who can change the transmission out, who can drop an engine, who can do all that. He's a real man. And Canelo knows he's in there with a real man. And he's an antagonist. I seen the press conference today. It was good because I seen Bud antagonize this man. I seen Bud laugh in this man's face. Like, yeah, you don't know what you just got yourself into. It's going to be bad. And I seen Canelo with a look on his face. I seen Canelo with a look of resignation on his face. When he fought Floyd Mayweather, he resigned. When he fought Dimitri Bivol, he resigned. It was a look of resignation, like, hey, tonight is not my night, and I'm just going to it is what it is. And I've seen that in Canelo, and I've seen that same look of resignation. He knows that he's in with a real one. And like I say, I know, I have in my gut feeling I had that Crawford is going to beat this guy, man. And what I like, we have to be on code. And I've been on so many panels, and so many people seem like they're rooting against Bud, man. I said, how can you do that when this man is an American? They did the same thing to Deontay Wilder. This man is an American, and he walked out on the stage. This man is getting booed in his own hometown.
In New York, bro. In New York, they booed Bud today. I listened. I was like, man.
Crazy, man. I said, how can y'all do this? I said, if he was in England, you think they're going to treat Bud like that? One thing I have to say about the British fan, they get behind their countrymen. They say, look, regardless of how I feel about you, you're British, you're England, and we're going to rock with you. You know, so we're going to get behind our countrymen. I don't understand for the life of me how they could do that to Bud. To me, Bud represents me on that day. He represents my people. And boxing is tribal, and I'm rocking with Bud all day, every day, because this fight is significant to me. It means something to me, and if he does not pull this off, all the race fans are going to come out. See, I told you, I don't want to hear all that. I'm gonna let you know right now that Bud is the guy that's gonna get the job done. I think he's gonna do a masterpiece on Canelo Alvarez and show him that there is levels to this thing. And I just believe that Bud is operating on a different level, regardless of what people want to say about his resume, whatever. See, Canelo had the luxury of getting the push behind him. Canelo had the luxury of people passing the torch to him. Miguel Cotto, Carlos Baldomir, Shane Mosley, they got with the program because Canelo was the guy that HBO got behind. They didn't get behind Demetrius Andrade. They didn't get behind Jamel Charlo. They didn't get behind those guys. They got behind a red-headed Mexican fighter who has 20 people on his resume who have losing records. People don't want to talk about that. No. A guy that learned on the job. A guy that fought a lot of guys that were way past their prime. A lot of smaller guys. A lot of guys that were James Kirkland was coming out of a bad situation when he fought Canelo Alvarez.
Oh, wait a minute. The James Kirkland fight, one of the stipulations was he couldn't have Ann Wolfe in his corner.
Yep, and the brother just got out of joint. See, a lot of people don't know that.
That was crazy. Did y'all hear that? They said, we'll fight you, but you can't have Ann Wolfe in your corner. He's been crippling a lot of dudes, man. I'm telling you, Canelo, he's nice with it, but you got to look at the stipulations he had, man. A lot of situations he was full of shit, man. I'm telling you, And
Right.
don't be confused when Bud go in there and start styling on him. And I'm gonna go as far as to say this: he'll fuck around and drop Canelo.
I can believe it. I can believe it 100%. And maybe Stormy B can attest to this right here because I know he is an historian. Now, if you remember Jack Johnson, and I think this is a position that a lot of our black fighters are in today, if they're not a name. Jack Johnson wouldn't fight the other black fighters because that was his toughest competition. And I can't, he wanted to go for the money. We got a lot of black fighters out here, like we seen Tucker. Tucker can fight. Rashidi Ellis can fight. The guy got one loss. He's a tough night for anybody at 147.
Yeah.
Even Devin Haney, that's a tough fight for Devin Haney. Devin Haney going to have to bring his lunch pail if he fight Rashidi Ellis. Because you know why? Black fighters traditionally and have been the best fighters. And that's the most stiff competition that you are going to face is another African American fighter who can match your athleticism, who can match your speed, who has the same rhythm that you got, who got the same soul that you have, but they may don't have the same opportunity that you have got. And that's what's going on right now. Everybody's getting caught up in the names and not so much the fighter. Look at the fighter. Look at his skill.
Right.
Look what he can do. Look at his rhythm. And one thing, I'm gonna stop right here. I want to hear you guys chime in on this. Bud has soul, SOUL, and that's something that you can't quantify. You can't put that on paper, but he has it, and you can see it in his eye, and it's all over him. It's an aura, and that's the only way I can explain it.
Only a handful of people will understand what you just said. I get it. Bud, to me, to sum it up, he's the fresher man. Okay, Canelo's old in dog years, and we've seen the best of Canelo. That's it. Now, what's he gonna do when he has to think outside the box? Can he do what needs to be done? Now, the popular thing is to say yes, he can, but I didn't see that against Bivol. I didn't see that against Floyd. He hasn't changed since he fought Floyd, y'all. He hasn't changed. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And I don't want to hear no shit. I know Bud is the underdog going in, but I'm picking him to win. 60-40 fight, Bud Crawford. Stormy, closing words on this.
Oh, well, I think that we were able to have a nice conversation, about this. I do believe that there are influences that keep people, at odds. That's just something that I've recognized. But this will be a fight it'll be more of a revelation for what people's convictions are when it comes to boxing. We'll find out. I do believe that Canelo has the right one as far as the dance partner this go around, because he's going to have someone like everything that he avoided in David Benavidez is going to appear in this fight with this particular man in Terrence Crawford. And though he may be different in stature, size, but what he brings to the ring is every bit the same type of a threat, if not even more of a different type of a threat and more dangerous. So that's how I see it early on. We still a ways away from that. But what Coach Eddie said about soul, that's kind of like right along the same way of what I was saying about conviction. It's like it's a different term, word, or whatever, but we're right there in that same place. And again, it takes someone who's had to evaluate talent, personalities, characteristic traits in people to be able to see it from that vantage point. I don't expect everybody to see things from that vantage point because everybody doesn't have that investment in their lives, but I do it on an everyday basis. Plus when I was working with people in the gym. So it congeals to a point where it's just a natural thing that I do. And sometimes to be perfectly honest, I have to learn how to turn that off because it's like it can leave you at odds when you don't really need to be at odds. But it's all. But yeah, I appreciate you, Drew, having me on again this evening. I appreciate the conversation that we've had. The other guests, I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to Blue because I was moving around a moment. But I salute to Xavier and Blue and Coach Eddie. Glad to chop it up with all you guys this evening.
Absolutely, man. This was a really good show, man.
Yes.
And the closer we get to the fight, I'm going to open up the panel again, to get everyone's final picks on it. You know what I mean? But for the win, man. He's not the underdog.
And Drew,
go ahead, brother.
So, real quick, brother. I'm gonna get off. I want to just, commend you for the work that you do. I tune in and I watch you, brother, and you're a real one, man. You know what I'm saying? I like your Tuesday shows, but I just like how you move. You keep it real. You keep it, you keep it trill all day, every day, man. Even though I know that you're a fan of Haney, that's your man, but at the same time, you call a spade, a strike, and a ball, a ball. And not only that, just pointing out hypocrisy in the boxing game, the double standards and all that, because it needs to be spoken on, man. And I appreciate you doing that, good brother. I know it takes a lot of courage to do that, to speak the truth in today's time, but you're doing it, man. So salute to you, brother. And I hope your channel continue to grow and prosper.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir, brother. Take care, my brothers. Stormy B, thank you, my brother. Take care.
Yes,
you too, brother. Take it easy.
Salute, man. This is a very productive show. I always love talking boxing. We ain't got to get nasty or nothing like that. We can get passionate, things like that. But it's all about the sport at the end of the day. And I'm standing 10 toes down with Bud. You know what I'm saying? And there's tribalism in it, but I'm also backing it up with facts of why I think he's going to win. You understand? So, man, salute to all of you, man. Everybody, Venmo, Zelle, Cash App, Super Chat. If y'all not following Stormy, I don't love boxing because he's one of the only people in the LDBC that brings a coach's perspective, the X's and O's, and I can't do what he does because he sees things different. You understand? And he's a gem. We talk about how we love Kurt Sugar. Y'all don't remember the Three Wise Men of Boxing. Some of y'all are new. Y'all become a member of his channel so you can see those shows because now you got to pay to see them. And that was Stormy B, man, Scrapbook Boxing, who is a true historian, and the late, great Kurt Sugar. That show, those shows were not to participate in. Those shows was for listening and educational purposes because when I listened, I had nothing to say. I pulled up, I got some popcorn, and I listened. These men are gems. We lost one. We got 2 left. So y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Stormy B, man. I'll be back. I'm going to absolutely destroy Bitches and Hitches tomorrow. Just letting y'all know. And it's not only because Bill and Dev is my guys. What I saw today is further proof why I'm not supporting this kid. We got another one. And he's from my city. How's that for consistency? Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Y'all, whatever. He don't even have the Tank Davis fan base to justify and fight this back. And let me tell you something about, you know what? I ain't gonna say it because you gotta be from New York to understand. Clarence is in the chat. And you know what? That's not for y'all to hear. You gotta be from New York to understand what I was about to say, but you won't get it. You won't get it. Here today, gone today. The only reason why y'all like Richards and Hitchens now is because he said Devin Haney's name. But they ain't fighting. And that's Hitchenson's fault. He's on the motherfucking list. But salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chat. And I'll be roasting him tomorrow. It's going to be a roast. Just letting you know right now. And what we got for Nerds on Culture tomorrow?
Oh, man. I hadn't put it together yet, but I was thinking, how about the Alien saga?
Oh, perfect. I like that. Let's do it.
Alien,
so,
yeah.
And that was a phenomenal. When those things first hit the theaters, What was it?
Oh,
Second
man.
980. Oh my God, that scared the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
No diggity doubt. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all in the AM, man. Bronx on deck.
Move!
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.